I'm what you would call a champagne problem, Deckard Shaw. Ladies and gentlemen, and variations thereupon, this is Escapism Modern. Hello, my name is Oodles, host of the spin-off podcast, How to Do Accents. And today I am joined by the host of the new spin-off podcast, Newcastle Public Toilets Review, it's Gadget.
It's a wet mess, mate.
And the host of To Live and Die in Northern France, it's Biggie.
I
thought Oodles was the accent podcast.
And last, but by no means least, the host of the spin-off podcast, Doing the Big Shop in Waitrose, it's Stig.
Fuck off.
How are you all doing
posh.
this
I am not
very
posh.
fine Sunday? You are posh.
I'm not. I'm very good, thank you. I've had a really nice day.
How are those little pretzels? Pretzels?
Oh, yeah. I got a little, man. Got a little for the pretzels. Damn, they're good.
I want to try them now.
They are really good.
Yeah.
Well, let's start as we mean to go on. Gadget, you've been up to this week?
A myriad of chaotic things, but yeah, just the usual chaos that accompanies me. But what I'm bringing to the table today is a film I've seen before, but I showed it to Pip for the very first time last night, and it is Shane Black's The Nice Guys.
Yes. Great film.
Yeah,
which is an absolutely great film. It's one of my favorite films. If you haven't seen it. It's a 2016 American neo-noir comedy film, as I said, directed by Shane Black. It stars Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling as... Well, Ryan Gosling is basically playing against type in this one, because for the longest time in Hollywood, he was the heartthrob. It's kind of following on from The Notebook. He was a very pretty guy. He did a lot of very quiet roles. And this one, he plays an alcoholic fuck-up of a private detective. And he's a despicable, horrible person. He fleeces his clients. He's a whiner. He's not a very good person. And then you play Russell Crowe as he's kind of like a fixer, isn't he? Like he's not. You would call him an assassin, but he doesn't actually kill anybody. But it's more like he goes and threatens people who are like stalking young women or stuff like that.
Yeah, he's the muscle.
Yeah, he's the muscle. And the two of them get caught in this conspiracy surrounding a porn star who's gone missing. And it is just a chaotic clusterfuck of madness and insanity. Yeah. It's set in 1978. It's got an absolutely banging soundtrack of pure 70s gems. And it's just really fucking funny. But aside from everything else, it is actually a really interesting whodunit story.
Yeah. With
a bit of conspiracy thrown in, a bit of investigation. Ryan Gosling crying when he gets his hand broken by Russell Crowe quite early on in the film. One of my favorite. It also features one of my favorite physical comedy sequences of any film I've ever seen, which is when Russell Crowe confronts Ryan Gosling in the men's room.
Oh yes,
and he's sat on the toilet, and his hand is broken. He's holding a magazine to try and kind of cover himself. He's got a cigarette in his mouth. He drops the cigarette, tries to pull his gun on Russell Crowe. The door closes, and it's just this wonderful madness of all four of his limbs going in different directions, trying to maintain a position where he's got the gun on Russell Crowe and not exposing himself in the process. It's so funny. I don't really have much to say on it other than that you really should watch it, because it's one of my favorite films with Russell Crowe. It's probably my favorite film with Ryan Gosling. I know he's done I've seen him in a lot of good films, but I think this might be my favorite thing because he's playing so against type. Like, as the film goes on, you can tell he is a good guy. Like, he's got the heart of gold underneath him, but everything he does is just so scummy or so stupid or so inept.
Yeah. It's also like Shane Black's second best film after Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yeah, I'd agree with that one.
What about Last Boy Scout?
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, what about Iron Man 3?
Yeah. And
I like Iron Man 3, but
Hey, what about Predator? Oh, no, forget that.
Yeah.
No, we don't talk about Predators.
No, we don't talk about Predator. He's in the first Predator. He's good in that.
He wrote the first Predator.
Yeah.
Did he? Yeah, he wrote the first Predator.
Yeah, he wrote the first Predator. He directed Predators.
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Not much writing in the first Predator. Let's be fair.
Apart from get to the chopper.
Yeah.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is brilliant though. Like if you haven't seen that one, you should watch that as well.
He did Iron Man 3, didn't he, as well, I think?
Yes, I already made that joke.
Oh, did you? Sorry. I like Iron Man 3. I think it's a really good film.
No, I'm just thinking back to the Never Watchers criticism of it. That was a good episode. But no, yeah, it's a really good film. Yep, it's a really good film. It's very well cast. There's only maybe one thing that I think is particularly stupid in it, which is Matt Bomer's assassin character.
Yeah.
Because like somehow he manages to unload an entire arsenal's worth of bullets into Ryan Gosling's house, and seems to be able to just drive away from the scene quite happily. Like, I get he's an assassin and he's a bad dude, but yeah, he just doesn't seem like a very good one if he has to unload an entire arsenal into a house to not kill somebody.
It's the pulpy element to it. It's like in pulp comics and pulp literature and stuff like that, the baddies aren't very good.
No, true, yeah.
They're like stormtroopers. They've got the aim of a stormtrooper.
Yeah, he seems like a slightly... I think actually what bothers me most about Matt Bomer's character is that he's just slightly too evil for the context of the film.
Yeah.
Like, there are some really bad people in this film and some really like massive arseholes in it. But he's like comic book villain evil. Like, he's got no compunction about just killing people in the street. And I mean, it works at the end of the day, it works in the story, but I just, every time this is like the third time I've seen it now, I just think, oh, come on, you're a bit much, mate.
Yeah.
Just dial it down a little bit. Less of an LMG at the back of your car. But yeah, no, really, watch The Nice Guys. It's on Amazon Prime. I rented it for 99p.
I think it was on Netflix for a little bit as well.
Yeah, it was, yeah. But
I'm sure I saw it on Netflix.
Yeah, it's not on there now, but yeah, it's on Prime.
They're doing that a lot lately, Netflix. They're not having things on for long.
No. But yeah, 99p to rent it, or I think it was like £2 to buy it if you wanted to buy it digitally. But yeah, great film. Quality film.
Excellent. Stig, you've been doing, apart from eating pretzels?
Oh yeah, I enjoyed that pretzel. Well, a couple of weeks ago, maybe last week, I played for the first time ever Super Mario World.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know how
one of my favourites.
Yeah, I don't know how it slipped me by. I was talking about this in our Discord, how I had a SNES, but for some reason, apart from 3 Nintendo games, I didn't have any other first-party games from them.
Because they were so expensive.
Maybe it was just that, or something.
Didn't Super Mario World come with the console for a lot of people, though? Like, it wasn't a pack-in game for a lot of people.
You had the All-Stars as well, didn't you?
He was a pack-in for like the first drop of the consoles, because that's how I got it.
We never had it. I've never played it before anyway. The last one I played was 3 back then, and then it wasn't until...
I'm sure at some point, people are going to shout at me, but at some point the SNES got down to like £99, and you got the console and a pad and no game, so they could have got that version.
No, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I never played it. I really enjoyed it. It's not up there with my favourites, if I'm being honest. I don't think...
Wow.
I wasn't really impressed with a lot of level designs. I still think 3 is the best.
No, it's wrong.
It's not. Look up any list. 3 is always top.
We
best
may have
music,
feedback about
best
this.
levels, like easily the best 3. Anyway, so what I was going to do was play a series of Mario games that I'd never played before and report back on here in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, man.
But then I did nothing else this week other than play Mario, so I had nothing else to talk about.
We all have them weeks.
So here I am. I'm going to talk about Mario Galaxy.
Hey.
I've recently just played that for the first time as well.
My word.
I'm so going to drop in some of the soundtrack here.
What a fucking excellent game that is.
Yeah, it is.
Good, isn't it?
So good.
It's
Are you
so
playing it on the Switch,
good.
I take it?
Yeah. I didn't bother with... I've never played 64, I've never played Sunshine. I was like, it's like everyone says Sunshine's a bit shit. 64 looks like it handles like crap. Maybe I'll go play them at one point. So I was just like, I'm going to go straight to Galaxy because everyone says how amazing it is. And it's brilliant. I mean, it still looks fantastic for a game
doesn't it?
Came out in 2007. I love it's so creative. Ridiculously creative what they've done with it, like with the little galaxies and the little worlds you pop on between, and the use of gravity, like or you can go upside down on the worlds and like popping from, like using the stars to pop from one little planet to another, and I'm enjoying it so much. I am even going back and redoing the levels to get all the stars.
There's a lot of game in that game, though, isn't there? It's quite a long Mario game. There's
I'm on Galaxy 3 now, but I rarely ever go back and to get the stars in Mario games. So when I played 3D World, if I've got enough stars to move on, I should move on. I'm not bothered. Like, collecting the stars doesn't bother me. If I can get through the game...
achievements, is there?
Yeah, but this one, actually, the levels are different when you go back in to get the stars, and that's really helped me carry on playing the game and go back in for more. Like, each of the main levels, I think, has like 5 different stars you can collect. 3 main ones, a hidden one, and a shooting star. And then there are some levels which are just themed levels, like you have to race against the clock, or you have to surf a ray down a water slide. Yeah, and it's just 1 star done. If you do it in the time limit, you've got it. And those are really fun. So I like that it adds those elements in there. But I also really like the shooting star ones as well, where you go back in and you're given a challenge. Like, one is defeat the boss with you only have 1 life to defeat the boss. You have to race against Ghost Mario. First one to the star wins. There's a race against the clock, things like that. Like, it gives you different things to do when you go back into the levels. And yeah, I just think it's such a well-crafted game, and the music is absolutely amazing.
So good.
And the use of the touchscreen to collect the stars works really well. Because I remember everyone saying, "Oh, well,
it does actually.
How are you going to do this without the waggle of the Wii remote?"
Yeah,
it says, "Well, you just swipe your finger across the screen to collect the stars, where you would have used the Wii remote and the sensor back on the Wii." But yeah, that's what I've literally just been sat playing that like in my spare time and been absolutely loving it. So
it's a really good game. I remember I played that through when it first came out, and I know a lot of people kind of criticize the 3D All Stars collection on the Switch. The one thing I will say about it is that the loading times in it are so much faster.
Oh yeah, it's not disc, is it? It's not disc based.
No,
so.
it's not disc. And I remember my biggest irritation with it on the Wii was that every time you got a star in a level, it kicks you back to the hub world. You have to go back in to get the next one. And the loading times just made that so fucking annoying on the Wii. But on the Switch, it's really quick. It's a couple of seconds and you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And it just makes it so much more of a comfortable game to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one's up there with one of my favourite Mario games.
It's really good.
I think it was my favourite 3D Mario game until Odyssey came out.
Yeah, I think Odyssey wipes the floor with it. I think it's leagues better.
Yeah, Odyssey is one of my favourites, to be honest. But this, I would say right now,
it's up there, though.
It's up there. I think 3 and Odyssey, and then this, in our top 3 so far.
I would have literally not played this if it weren't for Best Boy Kurt lending it me. I mean, at the moment, he seems to be lending me Mario games. That's his that's his trick. And
he's trying to keep you away from Dragon Quest.
Yeah, it's working because the thing is, like, I played Sunshine 64 obviously, but don't get me wrong, I had a Wii like week 1 it came out, and I fucking hated it, and I always have hated it. I think I hate the fact
the console.
Yeah, I hate having to sit up. I hate having to. Everyone knows this about me. I'm not a Wii apologist. I've never played a Wii U, and after playing Galaxy on my Switch, I kind of sat back and thought, I think this would have been really good on Wii. Big telly, Wiimote. Yeah,
it was definitely like when I had a Wii, I think I maybe had about 3 games that I actually enjoyed on it.
Yeah, it's not good. The virtual console, yes, is good. The virtual console, but that's not what you buy a console for.
Yeah, no, I think what were the other games I liked on the Wii? It was just
Zack and Wick is good.
Wii Sports 2.
Yeah, they don't. They
I didn't buy them though. They came with it.
Yeah.
I think it was Zelda Twilight Princess and Mario Kart were the only other games I liked on it. And
I played Twilight Princess on GameCube.
Oh.
See, I've still got a Wii U, which is basically my kids' YouTube and Netflix machine in their kids'
does it have
room.
that capability? I didn't know.
Yeah, and
the Wii U's not bad. It just didn't have any games.
I just found the pad ugly.
I think I might, if Galaxy 2 doesn't come out for the Switch, I might end up getting it on that just to play it, because I've enjoyed playing Galaxy so much, and I've still got 3 or 4 Galaxies to go on it still.
It's just that the proof is in the pudding. On a Nintendo console, the best games are Nintendo games. It's just I generally
it's that simple. like I said, though, I genuinely can't believe how good it looks.
It's so
Oh, yeah.
good.
Like, still looks.
The denim
so
on his dungarees, it's better than what I think he looks in Odyssey. It's such a stylized version of Mario. It looks brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. I recommend people to ask Kurt for him to send it to you. But yeah, excellent, mate. Brilliant. Mario, I mean, please continue. There'll be some Mario stuff you've missed. Like, I know full well you've probably not played all the Mario RPGs and stuff like that. You need to get on that.
RPGs? No.
Look at his face. Look at his face. There's some absolute stellar ones.
I would say you liked Origami King.
Yeah, exactly.
I loved Origami King.
Yeah, and that's
So
not the
good.
best one of those. So it's not even the best Paper Mario.
The writing in it was amazing, though.
Oh, the writing is brilliant. But yeah, well, let's move on to Biggie. You've been doing. Don't say playing Mario.
No, I wish I had a Switch. Anyone got a Switch? Give it to
I've
me.
got a Switch Lite if you want to buy it off me.
You can give it to me.
I thought that's what you'd say.
I was waiting for wifey the other day to come down after putting little one to bed, and I was really unsure what on earth to watch. And I was just sitting there, and I came across the Image Revolution documentary about Image Comics.
Yeah. I've seen it advertised.
Amazon Prime, and that's really cool.
Is it?
Really recommend that if you're interested about the history of how a bunch of comic artists they pretty much brought Marvel to their
It
knees.
was Jim Lee, wasn't it?
It was Todd McFarlane, Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld. I've forgotten a couple of the other names of the guys.
Was Image Comics who did Spawn? Was that the
Yeah,
publisher for Spawn?
Todd McFarlane. Basically, I mean, I'm cutting a very long story down to a 2-second thing. They were fed up. Just basically, they were becoming big at Marvel because people were recognizing their art style.
Yeah,
and they were big fans. All their comics that they were particularly illustrating for were just selling ridiculous numbers, like 5 million, 8.2 million copies, and so on. But they get no recognition, no thanks, nothing. They're just paid to do their work, no acknowledgement for what they do. And Todd McFarlane in particular got fed up with it. Ended up being a bit disgruntled, chatting with some of the artists. And they decided to go separate ways.
Yeah,
and he managed to talk them all into leaving. And they agreed, and they set up Image, which is probably one of the successful comics after Marvel, I think, now.
Yeah, it overtook DC for a long time with gross revenue, especially Spawn. Spawn it hit the edgelord teens perfectly, like to the point where the comic wasn't out long before a film was made of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
a film that shouldn't have been made.
Yeah, it's not very good. It's not very good.
I really want another Spawn film, but done properly.
Yeah,
I think it'd probably be really good.
Yeah. And like you've got modern stuff today, like Invincible and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of things come from that. But what's happened since then is the big two, DC and Marvel, have been trying to like come to us. You know what I mean? Like there's been a lot of crossovers, and we really like that character. Can it live in both universes? That kind of thing. There's been a lot of.
Well, people don't realise that if you join Image, you own your material.
Yes.
So there's. The only thing that Image own is the name Image and the logo, and that's it. So anyone that works for them, they own that property. So you basically have to sell your product through them. Yeah. And if you can sell it, you make the money. So
it's kind of independent in a way, and the I logo is quite synonymous now with horror comics and comics like they don't have the Marvel code where you can't swear and you can't. Marvel's not as bad anymore as they used to be, but.
No.
Back in the day, you couldn't be fighting. It wasn't blood the vampires were having. It was plasma, stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? It was so weird. But Image were just like, you know what? Fuck it. There's viscera everywhere.
But yeah, please check it out. It's really good if you've got any interest in that. But the main thing I really quickly wanted to talk about, which is very weird, is for me anyway, is a TV show called This Is Us. Now, this is also shown.
I've heard things about this.
This is also shown on Prime. It's an American family drama centered around parents and their set of triplets.
Oh, wow.
And follow them through their lives. It's based in Pittsburgh, New Jersey, LA, and New York. Mm-hmm. It's currently up to season 5, and we've only just watched the first season. But man, we've just been gripped. It's just one of those shows that's just well written, really well acted, and it fucking makes you cry. And it's so good at that. But it's the stories are good. It sometimes flips with your expectations, so it doesn't always quite go where you think it's going to go. It stars, I think Oodles is a fan, Milo Ventimiglia.
Yeah.
From Heroes.
I love him.
Mandy Moore, of all people.
Not a massive fan of Mandy Moore.
But she's really good in this.
Is she?
Yep. A very good unknown actress, I think, called Chrissy Metz. Sterling K. Brown, who was in The People vs. OJ, Black Panther.
Yeah.
And Justin Hartley, who was from Smallville. But their acting is just top notch. The series has been nominated for Best Television Series Drama for the Golden Globes, Best Drama Critics' Choice Awards. It's been chosen by a top television program by the American Film Institute. Sterling K. Brown received an Emmy, a Golden Globe, a Screen Actors Guild Award, a Critics' Choice Award. Mandy Moore and Chrissy Metz also received Best Supporting Actress as well.
Bloody, I'm writing this down right
now.
No
biggies for them. They've already had enough.
So we're going to say it's popular then.
Well, in 2017, the series received 10 Emmy nominations, including Outstanding Drama, with Brown winning for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series.
Doesn't it?
And this came from.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it came from my two very good friends, En Flem and Kung Fu Space Ninja is his online name.
Got some lovely friends.
Yeah. But they recommended it. Now, I know my friends very well, and for them to sort of recommend this show, say, like, you want to check this out.
Yeah.
And I started watching, I was like, oh my God, yeah, this is not what I would expect them to watch either, but it's just hooked all of us.
I think I might watch this with my wife again. She started and she got up to a certain point and then it stopped being shown. I think it was on Channel 4.
Okay.
And it stopped being shown on it for some reason. So she fell off it. But she was really into it and now it's on Prime.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you want to get back into it? She's like, oh, well, it's been so long since I watched it. I don't know where I'm at with it. So, yeah, we're looking for something to start.
It's got Milo in it, so I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, it plays around with time, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'll definitely. About halfway through, there was maybe 1 or 2 episodes that started to pull up my heartstrings. And then the second half of the first season, I literally cried every episode. It's so good. Wow. It's really good. But it's feel good. It's got, heartwarming moments, some sort of...
Mate, it's got an 87 Metascore. You can't fucking argue with that.
I just really recommend it. It's not an easy watch at times, but it's just really, really good.
Oh, wow. I'm glad I needed some as well. I said that last
week. And we've
week.
only season 1, so we've got 4 seasons to go yet.
You say it's on Prime?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm going to message her now and say, do you want to start this?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been told I'm not allowed to watch it because it'll leave me a blubber and wreck and I might get dehydrated.
Oh, excellent.
It takes nothing to make me cry.
Well, this will hit you big time, I'm telling you.
That's a great shout, mate. And I needed something like this. And it's got Milo in it, so I'm down.
It's good. They're all good. Everybody in it is really good. That's
she said yes already.
Excellent. Brilliant, mate. Thank you. So
what have you been up to?
What I've been up to, I've accidentally gone down a Johnny Flynn rabbit hole. So Johnny Flynn was in Genius, that we talked about last week, playing the young top shagger Einstein during most of his top shagging.
Is Einstein going to be your diehard in this podcast?
Maybe. I was scrolling through as you're looking for. I wanted a film. I wanted a quick film, an hour and a half type film.
Yeah.
So, and I saw the film Stardust. Now, not the Stardust you're thinking. This is Stardust, as in the David Bowie kind of biopic.
Oh.
So I like a flamboyant frontman, and I thought, I'll start watching this. Before I go into what it's about, I was like, who's playing David Bowie? I recognise this guy. And they were like, it's Einstein! It's Johnny Flynn! Oh my God, he's at it again! But yeah, basically, it's kind of a biopic, but not a biopic like Bohemian Rhapsody and Rocket Man is. This biopic starts after he's already done Space Oddity. So, as you all know, that was the only hit Bowie had at that point. The first album he did tanked, but Space Oddity kept kept him afloat, basically, in the British music. And then he released his second album, The Man Who Sold the World. And the record label, Mercury Records, said to him, well, you need to crack America. Mark Bolan's done it, T-Rex, you know what I mean? They've all done it. You've got it. If you can't crack America, you're fucked. So they sent him over with, and if you know Bowie, The Man Who Sold the World is the most depressing album you could ever listen to. Even more depressing than his last album before he died. It's super depressing. And
yeah, but it gave you Metal Gear Solid 5 vibes, though.
Oh, absolutely. Of course it does, yeah. And it couldn't, basically, in his historical term, it couldn't crack America with this album. Americans found it weird. Every lyric was about madness, because David Bowie had madness in his family. A lot of his family members were hospitalized for psychosis and stuff like that. And his trip around America gave him the inspiration to become Ziggy Stardust, his alter ego, his first alter ego. And it's just, now I'm going to say this now. It's not a good film.
Yeah.
The story is good because it's real, and Johnny Flynn is a decent Bowie, but there's a lot of backstory to this film. The Bowie estate didn't sign off on this film, so there's no Bowie music in it. It's fake. Okay. It's fake Bowie music that sounds
biopic about David Bowie without his music.
Yeah,
what's the point?
It's fake Bowie music. It all sounds very similar. You get the vibe. He looks too good looking for Bowie.
Ground control to Major John.
Yeah, similar. It's kind of like that.
That's an episode title.
It is. You're not far from it. It's kind of like that. But Johnny Flynn's too good looking. Bowie was such a his visage was so odd, and that's what he played on, didn't he?
Yeah. He had the look of an alien about him.
Yeah, and that's what he said. He's an alien, and it's basically about it's actually a road trip movie. So yeah, I know it sounds strange. So when he gets to America, he's expecting red carpets and stuff because he's massive in England. He expects no, he gets picked up by the Mercury Records exec Ron Oberman, played by Mark Maron, brilliantly played by Mark Maron, and they're
Remind me who's he?
He's a well-to-do podcaster. Trust me.
Producer. He's in Glow, the TV series about women wrestling, and it's amazing in that.
He's amazing in this. He's absolutely, as much as I've got man crush on Johnny Flynn, Mark Maron is the best person in this. And it's a road trip, so basically Bowie's saying stuff like, oh, so we're going to get a tour bus. And he's like, no, we're going in my station wagon. And also, we didn't get your visa papers in order, so we can't do any gigs musically. We can just do interviews. This is real. This is what happened. So this tour is an interview tour, and then you're not allowed to sing. Which is perfect to say they didn't have license for the songs.
I was going to say, is that how they got around
insane.
It is insane, and there's a lot of. It's kind of an art piece film. I mean, it's a solid 2 out of 5, or a weak 3 out of 5, and it's just so fucked up. Like, because it is true, it did happen, and you'd expect a road trip movie from A to B, and when you get to B, everything happens and everything's perfect. No. In real life, Bowie had to come back to England and sit down and create Ziggy Stardust. And Ziggy Stardust doesn't appear until the very end.
Oh, God.
And he doesn't even sing Ziggy Stardust or anything like that.
So it sounds like a pointless film telling a pointless story of a pointless tour.
Yeah. Of history that we all know.
Why didn't you look at the rating before you watch it? See, if I looked at that rating and saw it's got 4 out of 10 on IMDb, I'm just like instantly, I'm like, nope.
It was the image of
unless the director attached his Uwe ball. Then you think it's
the
best film.
That's when I was younger when I watched stuff like that. These days I have a bit more of a.
It was just the image of the screen grab one, the poster that you have on things, and I saw that and I was like, wow, that's a good looking Ziggy Stardust. Because Ziggy Stardust ain't good looking.
No. Is it?
And then turns out to be Johnny Flynn, and big fan.
Yeah, wasn't this one of those films that they got financed, like after it was announced that they were doing a Bohemian Rhapsody film.
Yes.
And it was just like, because we also got Rocket Man at the same time, and they're like, 70s rock biopics are a thing.
Yeah.
Let's get them out there. And then the financed the film, got it cast, got it written, and then someone came out and says, yeah, the Bowie estate won't let you use the music.
Yeah, he just died as well. It's like, no, you're not touching this.
Bowie is specifically said before he died, it will never be a film of his career.
Yeah.
He's got it like written in everything. Saying,
it's
like,
because
you
mainly
do not have access to my material.
Like Bowie isn't Bowie. He's David Jones. That's his name. You know what I mean? Bowie's his stage persona.
Yeah,
and he wants to separate truth from fiction because his whole musical journey is fiction. He is an alien, and that's how he says it. That's why he's changed personas so much, and he's visionary, and he doesn't want that mixing with real life. And yeah, I've read like an unofficial biography and stuff like that, and the man was troubled. Whew.
Yeah,
but
he sang with Bing Crosby and Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
But look at
This
the
alien.
the look at what, like, I didn't mind Bohemian Rhapsody. It's not great, but like
there's a lot of not
so many
truths in
liberties, and non-truths taken with it in terms of the timelines of when Freddie announced to the band about his illness and everything like that.
He didn't in the
didn't
film.
do that before Live Aid at all.
Yeah,
But he does in the film and stuff like that. And it's just like, I can completely see why Bowie would be like, I do not want anybody making shit up about me, so people think, oh, that's what happened, especially after I pass away. Like, it's completely understandable why artists would be like, nah, like, my stuff is off limits.
Yeah, even the Bowie estate said he can't play David. Look at him, he's stunning.
One thing that's worth looking up is there's a video online of Michael C. Hall, who played Dexter in Dexter. Performing Lazarus, because he was part of the Black Star album was repurposed,
which is a good album,
which is an excellent album. I love it. My favorite Bowie album.
Really?
That was repurposed as a musical. Like Bowie wrote a musical around that music, and apparently that musical is slightly autobiographical as well. Yeah. Like that's the closest you'll get to like the biopic thing, is that stage.
Well, the album is apparently, isn't it? It's a bit of a journey.
Yeah, but if you there's this video of Michael C. Hall performing Lazarus, which is a really sad song in itself.
It is, yeah.
And I've never heard anybody sound as much like David Bowie as Michael C. Hall does. I think that's what you need to look at, not this Stardust shite. Look at the stuff that Bowie actually endorsed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's that. And that, all the way through, I was just like, being a big Bowie fan, I was just like, he'd hate this bit. He'd hate this. He'd hate this. Like in the film, they made out that like Bowie was anti-drug and stuff like. I'm like, no, he weren't. He bloody loved to sniff.
Man was practically pickled in the 70s.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, every single one of them in the 70s.
And again, he sang with Bing Crosby and Mick Jagger.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I was like, this is. It was so odd, and
he signed on to play in that film, The Man Who Fell to Earth, which was dreadful.
Yeah, yeah. The man was half baked all the time, and it was
I've seen Labyrinth.
Yeah,
doing that.
He's just such a weird. It's like there's a lot of liberties taken on it, but as an art piece, it was good. But it didn't have to be Bowie. It could have just been a made up rock star. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it would have been so much better because the songs in it, like Johnny Flynn sings, and he's a good singer, and the good songs, obviously the Bowie-esque, but it could have just been anybody.
Yeah, it didn't have to be a David Bowie film.
Yeah, and the problem is now, Mark Bolan's in this film, and the guy that's done Stardust wants to do the T-Rex one. I'm like, stop!
No!
You can't do it! So, yeah, don't watch it unless you really want to see some quite unique visuals of Psychosis. It's one of those...
Sorry, it's a hell of a sentence to say.
Yeah, it's one of those films that it's got like 20 minutes that's good. Really good. But other than that... Stay clear. Don't worry. Just watch Bohemian Rhapsody and pretend that was real. But yeah, there is better biopics. And if you want a fake biopic, watch something like Almost Famous or something like that. Just
great film.
A way better film. And yeah, stay away from Stardust. It's one of the first times that I'm not recommending something.
Ooh.
Watch the other Stardust film instead.
The other Stardust film, the one with the Take That theme tune.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is better. That is way better.
Randomly Michelle Pfeiffer and Robert De Niro in it.
Yeah, that's way better.
Really weird film, excellent.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, that's what I've been doing this week, wasting my time. I've also got back into Pokemon, but that's different. I'm well invested and I'm loving that. But yeah, play Pokemon. Have you ever heard of Pokemon?
No, never.
But yeah, Biggie, what are we doing now?
Well, this week we're talking about spin-offs. Which media got it right and kept the spirit of the original, or chose those characters that stood out? Which ones ended up directionless mess and left you bitter and hurt, making it difficult to look at your first love ever again and paying for that same feeling that seems now spoiled forever? Why is it always Joey?
And the biggie goes to
Matt LeBlanc.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So, yeah, we're doing spin-offs. Spin-off, does someone want to explain to the listeners, if they've been living on the moon, what an actual spin-off is, in simple terms?
It's where someone takes something popular, takes a small segment of it, and then makes a new thing out of it. So, like, most people would recognize spin-offs from TV, where there'll be some popular TV series. They'll take a character from that series and give them their own show.
Exactly.
Sometimes it works. Most of the time, it doesn't.
Yeah, 90% of the time it doesn't. But yeah, we're going to do the usual Modern Escapism round table because we know you like it, we like it. So let's start with Biggie, your favourite.
Yeah, so I wanted to give a little shout out to Naked Gun.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was a spin-off.
So to give its full title, it's From the Files of Police Squad.
Yeah.
Leslie Nielsen reprised his role as the inept Detective Frank Drebin from the TV series, which first aired in 1982. The show was created by Abrahams and Zucker, and then eventually, I think it was about 6 or 7 years later, decided to do a movie.
Yep.
Which had the plot of Frank Drebin. Drebin trying to foil a plot to kill the Queen by using a brainwashed baseball player for reasons.
Yeah. Would anyone object here to the Naked Gun theme tune?
Not at all.
No.
Excellent.
Oh, so good. Oh, the opening to those as well is so great. Like.
And it also starred O.J. Simpson, who you may have heard of. It's a spoof with as many visual gags as they are verbal, with a lot of physical comedy. Mm-hmm. I think the two sequels that followed, the quality...
33 and a half.
I was 2.5 and 33 and a third.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's it.
But it inspired a whole new wave of new movies, such as Spy Hard, Hot Shots, the Scary Movie franchise.
Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Yeah. Again, quality is hit and miss.
It just gave Leslie Nielsen a career, really, didn't it?
Oh, it did. And the fact that he played it so straight, pretty much 90% of the time, it's just, I don't know how he didn't crack up.
Well, my favourite thing about Leslie Nielsen is he was a dramatic actor first, like a proper stage actor.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
And he was never interested in doing comedy until he got the role on Airplane.
Yeah,
and the director,
so
the director on Airplane says, just play it straight. You're the straight man here. All the gags are in the dialogue. You don't need to be funny. And he just read the lines as he was giving them, and it was so funny because it was so deadpan.
It's when he reads that one line in one of the Naked Gun, he goes, "Like a blind man at an orgy, I'm going to have to feel my way through."
Favorite was, and I remember I had this. Do you remember when you were younger and you discovered that you could change the sound effects on Windows and you just put really random sound effects? I remember I got it set for whenever there was an error code to come up on my dad's profile on the home PC, and it would come like a midget at a urinal. I was going to have to stay on my toes.
Yeah. So. Non-PC nowadays, but it's a classic.
I don't know where you can track the actual TV series because I actually think it's funnier because it's a your typical half-hour comedy segment, and it's just bang, bang, bang.
I've got the VHS box set somewhere, but not a VCR.
Yeah, if you think of the jokes that are in a Naked Gun movie, and you've obviously got those bits that are padded out, stretched, etc. But when you've got like a half hour of those jokes, one after the other, the TV series is by far the funniest, but Naked Gun movie in particular was fantastic. And when I first saw that first movie, Naked Gun, the ending with O.J. Simpson in that wheelchair going off the edge, I rewound that so many times and pissed myself laughing every time.
And O.J. Simpson has aged well, hasn't he?
I didn't realise as well that joke from Naked Gun with OJ and the pram and everything. Like, I can't remember which one it is, but I didn't realise that was from the Untouchables. Like,
Yes.
Because I'd watched one before the Untouchables. I only watched that this year, and I was just like, it's just such a well done joke. Because I think it's a bit shit in the Untouchables, that bit, to be honest. But like, it works so well in Naked Gun, like taking the piss out of it. And the shootout in it as well. I really enjoy that, where like they're shooting at each other, and it pans out, and they're literally about 5 yards away from each other, ducking behind the bin.
Yeah, and Leslie Nielsen's got 500 bullets in a little handgun.
Yeah.
I think Naked Gun has my favourite ever background visual joke of all time. Well, sorry, the third Naked Gun film, 33 and a third, which is spoiler alert: O.J. Simpson gets killed quite early on into it, and he gets shot and thrown off the side of a boat.
Oh yeah,
and you've got Leslie Nielsen and the commissioner walking down the dock, and just in the side of the camera you can see a chalk outline floating in the water. It's such a simple gag, and it's my favourite background visual gag of all time.
You just don't get films like that these days, do you? I mean, even
you're not allowed to. That's why.
No, but even if you take away like the
un-PC stuff,
like you just don't get that kind of good deadpan like visual jokes like that.
No, I think a lot of things were ruined. Like Scary Movie, I think, was the last good one of those kind of films.
It's because it turned into... Thing is, after Scary Movie 1, it turned into just sex joke after sex joke.
Well, no, it wasn't even the sex jokes. I mean, there's loads of sex jokes in Naked Gun.
Yeah, there is.
But it's the... After Scary Movie, when they started doing like Scary Movie 2, and then there was another set of producers who started doing like epic movie and disaster movie and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's terrible.
God,
they lost all the subtlety. Like, you can miss a fuck ton of jokes in the Naked Gun films.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so many.
There's a visual gag when they're in the sex shop.
Oh.
And I've forgotten his partner's name that's in that. But he ends up looking through the equipment in front of him, and he pulls up what looks like either a chainsaw or a power drill with a dildo on the end.
Dildo.
And it's just wobbling like this in front of him, and then he puts it back down again with his face like, what the fuck?
But Leslie Nielsen never reacted to it.
No, at all.
So you get like the epic movies and the disaster movies of this world, and they lose all the subtlety, and it just throws these stupid, ridiculous parodies in your face, and they're just not funny.
Yeah, they're not.
I think
even the end credits when they had to stop in the TV series where they did that jokey.
They stopped still, didn't they?
Yeah, and then someone in the background starts moving around the freeze
They're all
frame.
doing it. They're actually all sitting there, and they can't keep it any longer.
Yeah,
it's really good, really.
Excellent. That's a good shout, because I haven't watched a film like that is just silly. But it's one of them films that you can relax while watching it, but you can't look away.
No, you have to pay attention.
You've got to pay attention because there's a lot happening, and you need it on a really big widescreen. You need to see the backgrounds massive.
If you want a good one, Doodles, to watch Top Secret.
Top Secret. Oh,
classic.
Top Secret is like that, but
Top Secret's
so good.
Who's in that?
Val Kilmer.
Oh, right, okay.
Playing it pretty straight, actually.
Is it fat Val Kilmer or thin?
No,
Val
it's like
Kilmer?
80s Val Kilmer.
Oh, right.
It's old. It's around the time of Airplane.
I like
Airplane, Naked Gun kind of film. Watch it. I think you really enjoy it. It's very good.
Okay, I will do. Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. Let's move on then from Naked Gun to our own Naked Gun, Stig.
Only for you guys.
Oh!
Listeners don't get to see. Well, it's clearly obviously what I was going to bring to this. I got called out on it even before we even started recording. Better Call Saul.
You're getting predictable, lad. Getting predictable.
I don't even care because it's, in my opinion, the best spin-off show ever. I can't say anything on the quality of Frasier because I've never seen Frasier. I've never seen Cheers. So I can't say that. But what I've seen, this is the best spin-off TV show, even to the point where I think it surpasses its original.
I agree. I totally agree.
So Better Call Saul is a spin-off of Breaking Bad. This tells the story of Jimmy McGill, Bob Oden, who's played by Bob Oden. God bloody hell.
Bob Odenkirk.
You're reading
Jimmy
the names.
McGill.
That's the problem, isn't it?
Bob Odenkirk.
Do it from your mind.
And he's basically, it tells the story of how he went from kind of greedy criminal defense attorney to Saul Goodman. How it tells the journey.
So that's not his real name.
How he went from Jimmy McGill to Saul Goodman.
Oh.
No, Saul Goodman is a play on words.
It's all good, man.
Yeah, it's Saul Goodman. Yeah.
I never cottoned on to that. Fuck me.
Really?
Oh, I did because of the adverts in Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
In Breaking Bad, they does them adverts.
Yeah.
No, honestly, never twigged that.
So the show starts with a flash forward. These are in grey, and you get about 3 glimpses of these every series. So it doesn't concentrate much on Saul Goodman post Breaking Bad. It's all about pre Breaking Bad, but you do get a little bit of where he is now and what he's doing now. He's not in a good place for obvious reasons. And it's just the tone of the show has changed so much. Like the first few series, you see Jimmy is a bit of a hustler and he's trying to prove himself to his brother Chuck that he's a good lawyer. So Chuck is a big time lawyer with this huge firm. He's like a partner in a huge lawyer firm. And Jimmy is still trying to get his lawyer's degree. And his brother just does not believe in him. And so a lot of this, especially the first 2 series, is kind of centered around this family drama. It is not Breaking Bad at all.
Yeah.
And I think that put a lot of people off. But I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the dynamic between his brother, between his love interest, Kim Wexler, and between the other partner in the firm. I forget his name now, unfortunately. Sorry.
Marcus, is it? I can't think.
Can't remember. Sorry, but
We'll call him
Chuck,
Slappy.
Yeah, his brother Chuck is actually a semi-recluse and believes he suffers from electromagnetic hypersensitivity.
What?
So this is basically he believes that all electronics give off a signal which kills him, kills his body. So he's now this semi-recluse, which he's got like foil everywhere and the windows closed. You can't take cell phones into the house. There's no electricity, and he's kind of had
a little
this
stove to keep.
Yeah, he's kind of had this breakdown. But through all this, like he's constantly putting Jimmy down, but Jimmy never gives up on him. He's always there for him. And like, so the dynamic is his brother is an absolute arsehole, even to the point where he does things to foil Jimmy. Like Jimmy is literally trying to be a good person. He's trying to get away from his like shitty background and be a better person. And his brother will not let him. And that's where his descent into being more slime, being more of a criminal comes from.
Almost forced into it.
Forced into it because his brother just would not let him.
Yeah.
His brother could not accept his younger brother being better than him.
Okay.
So it has this dynamic to start with, first few seasons, and then the Breaking Bad characters come into it, and you start to see how he became tied up with the likes of Gus Fring and the Salamancas. So you have new characters in this, Nacho Vargo, played by Michael Mando, and Lalo Salamanca, played by Tony Dalton. And that Gus Fring is back in this as well, and so is Mike Ehrmantraut. So you have these links to Breaking Bad. Lalo is fucking incredible. He's such an amazing character. He's absolutely mad, completely like bonkers. Just like don't cross him because you're fucked if you do. And it's just the writing, the directing, the cinematography, the acting, everything in this show. Everything you liked about Breaking Bad is in these shows specifically now, but better in places, more structured.
His relationship with Kim as well, just that is really touching.
Yeah,
really,
he has
really,
such a
really
great relationship with Kim. It's a very on and off kind of thing as well. Yeah. Kim isn't in Breaking Bad. We've all seen Breaking Bad, right?
Yeah, we have,
Yeah. Kim isn't in Breaking Bad. She's never mentioned, right? So where you are watching now, there's one more series to go of Better Call Saul. What happens to Kim?
You're going to find out, surely.
What happens to Kim and what sends him from where he is now to where he is at the start of Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
Because when he is at the start of Breaking Bad, it's really odd because he's not a broken man, is he? He's
happy-go-lucky, isn't he?
Happy-go-lucky kind of guy. So the guessing is, does Kim do something? Does he set Kim up? Does he... Like this man, like Jimmy, he's now at the point, like he is Saul Goodman now. He's shaved his Jimmy like thing and he's eventually it shows you how he becomes Saul Goodman, and he will double cross anyone if it means he's getting ahead. Like he's starting to become the character from Breaking Bad, but I just can't praise the show enough. Honestly,
so you genuinely reckon it's better than Breaking Bad?
Yes,
I agree. I completely second that.
Because here's my hot take: I've seen Breaking Bad once, and I just found it good. I don't think it's the best.
I've watched it twice.
I think Sopranos and Mad Men and things like that are way better.
Yeah, I loved Breaking Bad.
And that Breaking Bad film was shit.
Oh, El Camino wasn't very good.
I didn't like that at all.
I didn't mind that.
I didn't mind it. Right. Yeah, I thought it was quite a nice ending to Jesse's story. It wasn't needed.
Yeah, Jesse wasn't my favourite character though.
But like this is like it's one of those like that spin-off was kind of like, do we need that? Yeah, we'll do it anyway. But like this one is when you say we're going to do a spin-off prequel about Saul Goodman, it's like, well, that's not going to get more than 1 or 2 series, is it?
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to work.
It turns out that it's going to actually surpass the original.
So how's it doing critically? Like you say it's better, but it's not, it hasn't popped in my sphere like Breaking Bad did. I know there wasn't as much choice back then, and that was like a cultural phenomenon. It was Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones, you know what I mean? They were the big hitters. But how come I'm not at work and someone's going, God, Better Call Saul, it's the best,
Because, like many others, they saw the first few episodes. I'm like, this isn't Breaking Bad.
So in general, on Metacritic, it's got a series Metascore of 84.
That's strong.
And a user score of 9.2.
That's way strong.
Yeah. Rotten Tomatoes is 97, 8.7 out of 10 on IMDb.
But I'm right, though. You don't hear it in, like, I'm going to say it, the zeitgeist.
It took me 2 attempts to watch it because I watched the first.
That's not a good
2 episodes, and I was kind of like, yeah, I'm not really feeling this. Dropped off it, and then started hearing good things again about it, and I went back to it, and then I realised,
I tried it when it first came out. I think I bounced off after 4 episodes, but it suffered kind of. I think it must just be a Vince Gilligan thing because I did the same with Breaking Bad. Like Breaking Bad's setup is so slow and takes you so long to actually get into it. I think Better Call Saul has the same problem, so I really should go back and like persist with it because I do want to watch it.
You should. It still brings in like you said, it's got the likes of Gus Fring in it, who is just the best. He's incredible. He's so good.
I should be all over it because like Vince Gilligan did some of my favourite X-Files episodes and stuff like that.
It goes into how it's not just about Saul, it's now showing their stories. So it's now showing the war between Fring and the Salamancas.
Ooh.
It shows you how Hector got into the wheelchair and all that. It's filling you in those kind of backstories, but not in a way that's just like, do we need to see this? It works. It really does work. And there's like one particular episode in the desert which is just so fucking good. And it's up there. Really is up there. And yeah, like I said, try and push past the first series. I know it's such a crap thing to say. It's like, you get past the first series because then you'll enjoy it because it's still Well,
Game of Thrones didn't have a good first season.
I know, but you're still talking like God knows how many hours of TV.
Yeah, it's like 10 hours of TV to get by.
But it's worth it because it sets up those relationships and you see where he was at the start to where he is at the end, and especially that relationship with him and Kim, because that has changed so much from the start to where it is now.
I'm glad you've brought it up because I like when people talk about it because it reminds me to kind of kick into gear and just get it over and done with. I know it sounds like I'm being defeated and just watch. I'm not being stubborn in not watching it. It's
one of those things that once you Stig myself, once you've watched it, you're like, fucking hell. How did I not watch that before, sort of thing, It will just blow your mind. It will blow your mind.
Yeah, the thing that stops me is not the actual show. It's the fact that I didn't adore Breaking Bad. I didn't dislike it. I just thought it was good. Do you know what I mean?
This actually works without Breaking Bad as well. It's like its own entity as a show.
Yeah.
It's obviously got the winks, the knockbacks and that to the series, but you could actually kind of almost watch it without knowing
of course,
about Breaking Bad as well. It is that good.
Yeah, you could start this without even having seen Breaking Bad and you won't miss anything.
I might just bite the bullet and watch it.
Tuco turns up in like the second episode or something, and the twins turn up at one point, and it's like if you hadn't seen Breaking Bad, just you wouldn't think anything about it.
Mate, I forgot so much about that. I only remember the chicken restaurant and the fly episode and stuff like that on Breaking Bad. I don't remember much of it, but yeah.
I feel like watching Breaking Bad after I finish this last series of Better Call Saul when it's Done.
Yeah, I've watched Breaking Bad twice now. I don't know if I could watch it a third. I do appreciate it. It's really good.
Oh, well, excellent. Better Call Saul, yeah. I hope if you've not watched it, it inspires you a little bit. It might inspire me. I'll probably forget about it again in a week.
Probably.
But let's move on to Gadget. What's yours?
Well, baby, I hear the blues are calling. Toss salads and scrambled eggs. Because I'm talking about Frasier. Yes. Frasier is one of the most legendary sitcoms to come out of the US.
My favourite one.
Yep, it was a spin-off of Cheers.
Cheers.
Following Dr. Frasier Crane after his divorce from his wife, which is played out throughout the last couple of seasons of Cheers.
Yeah.
And his decision to move back to his native Seattle rather than living in Boston.
Yep.
To be closer with his family and to start a new career rather than being a private practice psychiatrist, being a radio psychiatrist. Because that seems like a sensible course of action for anybody. It stars Kelsey Grammer as the titular Frasier. His brother Niles is played by David Hyde Pierce. His father is played by John Mahoney. Martin Crane, who is possibly the best character in it. Maybe the dog, Eddie.
Ross.
Also, his radio producer, Ross, is played by Perry Gilpin. And the home care nurse who is there to help John Mahoney's character with his disabilities is played by Jane Leaves. And it just centers around Frasier's desire to make his splash back in high society in Seattle and try to be the man that he wants to be, and kind of exploring his life as a single man, like a man who's been married for 15, 20 years. And
he's a bachelor in his 40s.
Yeah, who has to live with his father.
Yeah.
And I will say, I mean, much I love the series, Frasier is the worst character in it.
He is.
All the other characters around him are significantly better. Standout moments include when there is a cold open where Niles is getting ready for a date and he's in Frasier's apartment. And it is the most wonderful piece. It has 3 minutes of physical comedy. There is not a line of dialogue uttered. He starts off. He's got half his suit on. He's ironing his trousers, and he notices that there's a thread that's been pulled from his trousers. So he goes. He gets the sewing kit. Comes back over, tries to thread the needle, pricks his finger. There's a bit of blood. He passes out, but he's left the iron on top of the pants. The pants start to catch fire. He wakes up, sees the finger again, falls back over, gets up. The pants are really on fire now. Takes them off, tries to. It's just the most wonderful clusterfuck of insanity that happens. And it like I say, entirely without dialogue, because David Hyde Pierce is such a wonderfully gifted physical comedian. You have any sequence involving any of the radio station staff because they are mad. They are just these random because the radio station that Frasier works at, KSCL, is a talk radio station. And if you've ever encountered talk radio in America, the hosts on it are off their fucking trolley. So you get you get a high society man who sounds like a British actor and speaks like this. You get the sports guy Bulldog who walks around being the most horrendous misogynist and is somehow still funny with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Frasier. I love it so much. It's even though Kelsey Grammer himself is a bit of a bastard.
Oh yes.
And even though actual Frasier as a character is a bit of a bastard. Like, everything about that show is just brilliant. The more stories that they give to the side characters, as the show goes on, it gets so much better. There's this kind of concurrent love story throughout where Niles is obsessed with Daphne.
Yeah.
And he's like in love with her from the moment that he meets her, despite the fact that he starts off married to Maris at the beginning.
Maris.
The never seen, often described Maris. the haughtiest of haughty people in the world.
Does she ever make an appearance? Because I haven't seen all of Frasier.
No, she never makes a physical appearance. The closest you get to it, there is a point where Maris she's been indicted by the feds for something. I think it's like tax evasion or something like that.
Yeah.
And their solution to it is to hide her in a box of artwork that she's having shipped to Canada.
That's it.
And you see this kind of crate in Niles's living room. And he said, "Darling, would you like a drink?" And he like opens the air hole and puts like a glass with a straw up to it, and you see the liquid go down in the glass. That's the closest you get to a physical representation of Maris. It's so funny. But yeah, so you get this kind of this long running love story with Niles chasing Daphne, and I think it's maybe the sixth season or something like that, where he actually finally confesses his love to her at her wedding to somebody else.
Yep.
And it's the most heart wrenching scene. And the actors play it so beautifully and so perfectly. I love it so much. And there is a drinking game with it as well, because you have to try and identify the famous voices who ring into his radio show. And
Yeah, because there's a lot of them, isn't there?
Yeah. Usually at the end of each season, like after the last episode of each season, during the closing credits, they'll say like "Thanks for calling," and they'll have like whatever 90 stars. Like they've had Val Kilmer and David Duchovny and Letterman and people like that ringing in. But because it's like it's a phone call, you can't really identify the voices. So it's like 5 points if you get it.
What I really love about Frasier is the fact that it's scrambling so hard to be like high society. They're absolute dandies, the pair of them.
Oh yeah,
it's like they're like metrosexual before metrosexual was a thing.
There's a really good episode. It's one of some of the episodes in Frasier are like proper like Ealing comedy style farces.
Oh
where things just escalate. There's a great episode where Frasier gets a wonderful connection for caviar.
Yeah,
this episode where they get this caviar connection. It's the greatest caviar that they've ever had. Can't get enough of it, and they're importing loads of it. And there's one point the connection, because the guy they're getting the connection from, he's Russian, so it's all coming from the Caspian Sea. And the guy's like, no, we can't do any more. It's like, but we need it. We've promised so much for this dinner party. And it comes to the point where the two of them break into the boat in the harbour to try and get all this caviar. And I'm sitting there thinking, they've just broken into a Russian.
It's a mobster boat, isn't it?
It's a mobster boat. And while they're in there, they've got their face full of caviar. They've just broken into it, and then the FBI raid it, and you've got this wonderful
So
image
good.
of Frasier and Niles with like caviar on their faces, looking scared as like the police like shine torches on them, and they're obviously not there for like smuggled caviar, but it's so funny and so ridiculous. I love it so much.
It's way better than Cheers.
Absolutely. Like Cheers, I found a bit of a grind in places. Like there are some genuinely really funny moments.
Cheers is quite depressing though, because bear in mind that they're spending all day in that pub. These are not happy people.
Yeah, they're not happy people, and also like just the storyline just kind of went nowhere. Like, there are some good characters. Like Woody Harrelson's character was fucking brilliant in it. I loved Woody.
Yeah.
And like, actually, the thing is, in Cheers, I didn't like Frasier. Lilith was funnier than Frasier.
Yeah, 100%.
Agreed.
100%.
And so when I say I first heard about it, like it was on telly when I was a kid, because it started.
It's on Channel 4 every morning.
Yeah, it was like 1994 it was on. It ran for 11 seasons. 1993 it started. It ran for 11 seasons.
It was on every morning without doubt. You always could catch Frasier.
Yeah, and those are the best bits of the morning, to be honest. You'd get Everybody Loves Raymond, which was shite, and then you'd get Frasier.
I've never watched Everybody Loves Raymond.
I hate it. Ironically, I don't love Raymond.
Never watched it.
But I think Frasier it deserves its place as like a classic of the medium.
It's to the point where people don't even realise it's a spin-off.
No, I think people just think it is its own thing.
Yeah.
Which must be really confusing when they get to the episodes where like Norm appears and like some of the Cheers.
I'm sure Woody Harrelson turns up on one of them, doesn't he?
Yeah, Woody Harrelson turns up like two or three of them, and then there's one where they go to the airport and it's the guy with the mailman with the mustache. Cliff. It's his birthday at the airport or something like that, or his retirement party. It's like, what do people think of those episodes?
Yeah,
I feel like I should give it a go because.
I don't think you need to watch Cheers.
No, I'm not going to bother watching Cheers. But like when it was out, like you said, it was in the 90s, and I was obviously
a kid,
and
I was 7 when it started,
getting into my teen years,
so was I.
And it's just like
I was 34,
and I used to see it and just think it's just this highbrow.
But that's the thing; it's not
about middle-aged men,
be.
and I was just like, I'm not interested in that, as I just never gave it the time of day.
It has. That's the thing. That's the joke with it, is it has this veneer of highbrow.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like the characters, Frasier especially, is the same as anybody else. There's a cafe. One of the sets is a cafe that they go to. It's called Cafe Nervosa, and it's very posh and hoity-toity. There's one episode where they have as a guest star Elvis Costello as a as a busker, and he's a really annoying busker. He is singing Rolf Harris songs, though. He sings Tiny Kangaroo Down Sport, which is still weird to see it these days. But he's being really obnoxious, and Frasier is doing everything in his power to get this man removed from his cafe. He wants his silent sanctuary of this cafe. And he just looks like a cunt throughout. It just makes him look worse and worse. Elvis Costello, just by being a friendly, genial British man, makes him look worse and worse throughout by no effort of his own. But he gets Niles on board, so Niles is kind of getting the song, and he hands him an egg shaker. He says, just shake the egg in time with the song and all that. And Niles is getting into it. He's singing Tiny Kangaroo Down Sport, and he's getting faster and faster. And he just goes egg solo, and Niles just starts doing the flamenco with the egg, with this with the egg shaker, and it's funny as fuck. I love it so much.
It is really. It's also brace yourself. It's one of them shows where they say, "Oh, I hate living here," but then you look at the flat. And it's the most beautiful flat you could ever possibly
has a view
imagine.
of the Space Needle and stuff like that. It's one of the most exclusive addresses.
A lot of American shows do that. It's like, oh God, my life's so bad. It's like, you're married to Kate Beckinsale or somebody. Do you know what I mean? How could life be bad?
It's even come to the point. I love the show so much. Like I've co-opted one of Frasier's many linguistic tics into my own dialogue with Pip. Because if she does something to pretend to offend me, I will do the "How dare you" that Kelsey Grammer will belt out when someone offends him.
Or you're going to be like, "Pip, you fool!"
Yes, exactly. How dare you? Like stuff like that.
I was going to say like Mr. T or something.
Sort of, yeah. But because the thing is, and I think it's what works for the role as well. Kelsey Grammer overacts it so much when he's
always chewed the scenery. Everything.
And it works for that role because he is shown as being this kind of outlandish figure. Like he's never particularly genuine in it, whereas the other characters, Niles is a bit over the top as well. But like Martin and Daphne and Roz, they're all very down to earth people, and they all kind of anchor Frasier in the real world when he wants to be going to the most exclusive restaurants or drinking the poshest champagne. Or and
to say that Frasier and Niles are both doctors, they're not very clever. They're not streetwise, are they?
Oh no, not in the slightest. But they're very. They're very out of touch with reality. I think
they're well read and stuff. They're academically clever, but they're not. They're not in touch with society.
Yeah. If you haven't seen Frasier, do watch it. I guarantee you will enjoy it. The only thing I will say is because it is a show from the 90s, there are a few episodes where things haven't aged well.
Yes.
As an example, there is an episode where Patrick Stewart guests as a very flamboyant gay playwright. And as you can imagine, just from my initial setup there, he starts hitting on Frasier because he thinks Frasier is gay.
Because he's a dandy.
Because he's a bit of a fop and a dandy.
Yeah.
And the humour is not great in episodes like that, but it is few and far between, but you will occasionally get an episode where it's just like, oh no,
it's not
90s.
Shocking. It's just a bit, shouldn't say that.
Bit uncomfortable in 2021.
Yeah. Absolutely. And from that, I'm going to go into mine, which will offend you in every way possible. I want to talk about the film Borat, Cultural Learnings of America for Make Benefit Glorious Nation of Kazakhstan.
I love the title of that film. I hate the film, but I love the title of that film.
Great spin-off.
It's a spin-off from the Ali G show. We all know who Borat is. I don't have to explain to you. I'm not going to do the accent.
Thank Christ.
Because it's not a Kazakhstan accent. But the main thing is the story that it came from. Like, we all remember the Ali G show, or that Ali G show. And obviously it was Ali G, Sacha Baron Cohen going around, mainly talking to really, really not down with society politicians.
And racists, lots of racists.
Lots of racists. Lots of homophobes and things like that. Yeah, lots. Yeah, really, really bad people. So you don't feel bad because he's always interviewing bad people.
No.
And in the Ali G show, there were sketches with Borat and Bruno.
They were so good.
And everyone always said, the Borat ones, they're better. They're better because I think they are. Like, they did an Ali G movie, which was shit because they put a story to it and everything like that. And then Borat came, and wow. The cultural impact of Borat, to this day still, and I'm not talking about the sequel because I didn't like that, but the Borat film, I think it blew everyone away. The fact that it was made with, what is that, $18 million budget, and it grossed, in its first year, $262 million.
Yeah.
From a movie that half of the people watching it probably didn't even understand that that's not a real guy. And Kazakhstan doesn't look like that.
No, I think the thing I said at the beginning, I hate Borat. What I hate is the fact that everyone did the whole "my wife" thing and imitated him so much that he became this.
It hit hard though, didn't it, in society?
Yeah. People missed what the parody. Like, I like what he does with Borat. I like the parody of Borat. I like the fact that, and it is partly down to Sacha Baron Cohen's way of interviewing people. Mm-hmm. He can get people to say some really heinous shit.
Yep.
Like he reveals like the racists and the horrible people of this world. He's very
sometimes
good
he does actually. He admits it. He sets them up. But if you've got that mindset anyway, who cares that he's set you up?
Because he goes in with a character who, in all intents and purpose, doesn't like Jews and doesn't like homosexuals and things like that. So he uses that character
to his advantage.
To his advantage, he'll say something which will prompt them to then go off on something, and he's just like, "Great, I've got my clip there." Like,
and the Borat character is very good for doing that because, especially with the film when he's in America, like a lot of Americans would have seen Borat before they knew what the gag was. They would have seen the character as this country rube from another country, like he's not sophisticated, he doesn't know what he's doing, he's a bit of an idiot kind of thing. When really it's obviously Sacha Baron Cohen. He's an incredibly clever man. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
The TV series when he's at the dinner table and he's learning about manners.
Oh yeah, God, that was fun.
And he says, "Oh, I need to use the toilet."
Oh, that's the film.
Just say, "Excuse yourself." He did it in the TV series.
He did do a few of them. Yeah.
And when he goes off and then comes
he brings
back,
the poo back.
He goes, "I did this shit."
He brings the poo back. He says, and he puts it on tape. What do I do with this?
It's
so good.
But the thing is, obviously, for that kind of thing, these people have to sign something afterwards, clearly, to be in the film.
Well, a lot of them don't, and that's why they're blurred out.
Yeah, but his ability, and honestly, the balls on the guy to go and stand in the middle of a rodeo and sing made-up lyrics about Kazakhstan to the American national anthem in the middle of, like, yeehaw country. I'm just like, wow. Like,
with lyrics like, "We are the greatest exporter of plutonium or potassium" or something
like
that.
Kazakhstan is the best country in the world. No other country is better and stuff like that, but to the tune of the American national anthem. Yeah. Like, wow.
He is a brave man. I mean, he was a lot braver in Bruno. He nearly got killed in Bruno.
Yeah.
But I'm not talking about that today.
I didn't like Bruno.
But it's just the fact that, like, he got... And I don't think it's mean-spirited. It's kind of showing that there's an educational issue in the countries he visited, mainly America, where, like, he's saying stuff like, "Yeah, I'm from Kazakhstan," and like, "Oh, Europe." No, Kazakhstan's not in Europe. You know what I mean? and them not understanding, and the beginning bits of the film, obviously, it's all acting, like when the running of the Jew and stuff like that, and she's my sister, that kind of thing. I've just done his accent. I said I weren't going to do it, but I've done it.
Like, I get a VCR. He gets a VCR. Yeah. Because he can't get a VCR, he can't afford it. So it's just like,
that's all I liked. But then when he goes with Azamag Bagatov, his partner, and they got the gate crash.
I remember being in the cinema in that.
When the gate crash, the presentation, naked and stuff, and they have that wrestling, that 69 in, and it's just.
But that wrestling scene goes on just that little bit too
long.
The
joke,
so
though,
everyone
isn't
gets
it?
really uncomfortable. It's so good.
It's the fact that one of them's an Englishman and one of them's an American man, both playing these fake Kazakhstan people that are not clearly from Kazakhstan. And they're running about. It's just, oh my God. There's balls on it. And the fact that he's got a real bear in an ice cream van.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can understand, like you say, it's I can completely understand, say, people from Kazakhstan being offended by him.
Oh,
and they were. They said, this isn't a representation of Kazakhstan and everything.
Well, they filmed it in Romania for one.
Yeah, but anyone else that got offended by him that he set up if he set you up and you said some horrible shit, like kind of fuck off, like yeah, you said that. Like he didn't. It wasn't a script. It wasn't made up. It's like you actually think that, and he caught you out, and that was the best. That was one of the best things about it. It just shed light on people, and like you said, kind of shed light on there is a problem.
Yeah, there is a problem.
I'm doing it. He's saying there's a problem in this country, and there's a problem with a certain way of people are thinking.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm doing it in a stupid way, but I'm shedding light on this is a real issue.
I watched an interview with Sacha Baron Cohen, like inside the actor's studio style interview, a really highbrow interview, and he's a very clever man, and he talks really posh and stuff, doesn't he? As well, he's like really well spoken, and he's saying he did that obviously for the comedic slapstick value, but he also did it for the Americans to watch it and go, yeah, we need to really address our educational system here.
Yeah,
We do need to
agreed.
sort something out because, like 80% of the population don't know other places outside North America and stuff like that, and that's an issue. Or they don't understand other cultures, and do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
They've got a World Baseball Series that's set in America.
yeah, that's their world. And
sorry to any Americans out there. This isn't.
Well,
our
Yeah, it's not
listeners are
against
lovely.
American.
I watched it with my wife. She's American, and she was like, "Oh wow, this is so true." Do you know what I mean? This is she knows people like that.
I think it's also worth mentioning that Sacha Baron Cohen's done a very good job of taking what he did with Borat and then spinning that off into other things because obviously people get the gag of Borat now. Like, he's a very recognizable character. You can buy Halloween.
That's what the
costumes of
sequel
him.
plays on as well, doesn't it?
Yeah,
We all know
and like he had that series. I think it might. I can't remember. It might have been just called "This Is America."
Yes.
Which in 2020, where he was posing
all
as
different characters, weren't there?
It was a load of different characters. I think the main one was like a military trainer guy from
That's right.
Beirut
From
or
Mossad.
something.
A Mossad trainer.
Yeah, that was it. And you know, like he gets normal, what quote unquote normal people to reveal the darkest things about them through no effort of his own.
Oh no.
And when he doesn't get, and he's also very good at when he doesn't kind of get that rise that he wants, he just makes them look like arseholes.
There's that bit in This Is America where he's an ex-con and he goes to that art woman, that art installation, and says, "Oh, I do art in my, I did art in my cell. It was just feces on the wall." And she went, "Would you like to do some art for me now?" And he shits on a piece of paper and does some poo art, and she's like, "Yeah, it's brilliant." And she gives it a little smell and stuff like that. And she's like a well-to-do art critic, and it's like, "What are you doing?"
It's like, I think, like it's like everyone says Darren Brown it knows people the best. Nah, it's Sacha Baron Cohen. He knows
Cohen
exactly
knows
how to
what
get
he's
the desired result from somebody.
Well, the fact that even before Ali G became famous, Ali G even tricked a few people when he was playing that character with the early series.
Yeah.
You know, getting. I think one of my favourites is when he went to the, I think it's the police where they're handing the weapons in.
Yes.
And they're in a room and he goes, "Oh, can I take this?" And they're like, "No, you can't take this away with you." You know? It's just being silly. It's silly humour, but it's just the fact that they really believed he was this guy from this, you know, educational TV channel.
I mean,
as
massive.
Borat as well, he's like I said, he is setting people up to reveal shit things about himself, but he is also he does take the piss out of the ridiculousness of certain things, like, you know, or the debutantes and stuff
Debutante balls, stuff like that.
in the second film, and like these things about these women who train women to be proper ladies and things like that. He goes to those kind of things, and he's like, "This is ridiculous. Do you not kind of see that?"
Yeah.
So there is that element of piss taking, as well as that kind of highlighting issues, which does
like
really well.
on the sequel when he goes to the Christian family planning clinic, and there's a lot that they won't do because of the religious undertones to it, and because of the language barrier. She's saying, "There's a baby inside me. It's a plastic baby. She just swallowed a baby. They just wanted to go to the doctors and get it removed, but they're saying we're not removing it." And she's just like, "I just want to get this baby out of me." And it's like, no, we can't do that. We don't believe in that. And then, no. And then obviously it's explained that I swallowed a toy, toy baby. And there's a language barrier and stuff like that, and it's kind of stems from like these trigger happy TV type things as well. There's a lot of them, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's that I've always thought to myself, I wouldn't react like that, but you never know. You don't know how you're going to react when someone's doing an on the spot interview. Have you seen that Billy on the Street? That guy?
Yeah, I've seen it.
He goes to people and he'll say, "Who's your favourite, Matt Damon or Matt Damon?" And they'll go, and they don't even answer.
Matt Damon will be stood right next to him as well while he does it, just to make it even more awkward.
The same answer for two people, and they still can't answer it because it's like, camera. But so I feel sorry for some of them, but I just think as a spin-off from the Ali G show,
it was certainly significantly more successful than Ali G.
He just blew up, and I'm glad it exists. I'm not too glad the sequel exists.
It's a really weird idea to think that Borat is an important film.
It is
an
important
capital
film.
I. You know, it's like.
Both,
it is a shame.
Borat
It is
and
a
the
shame.
sequel got
In my opinion, it's a shame.
Nominations.
It is just like his ire is pretty much faced against America, which by no means is the worst place to be pointing your ire at all.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
There's,
no.
there's
Agreed.
far more things we could be discussing, but we don't get into. But yeah, I just think Borat, it's like I say, as a spin-off, it far surpasses the original material, and
Yeah, absolutely.
it should
I agree.
exist, and I love it. So let's move on to
Good show.
Biggie again, to the one you don't like, I believe.
Yeah, I've got two here, but they are
Yeah,
related.
go for it.
And
It's
it's
where the
very short
fun
and sweet.
begins.
It's Jackie Chan's Adventures, the TV cartoon show,
What?
and Rush Hour, the TV series.
Oh,
Because neither of them should fucking exist.
Rush Hour's not very good.
The
I
Rush
like
Hour
Rush
TV
Hour.
series is worse. It's so bad.
I've never watched
It's
it.
just why? I don't get it. Because first of all, you got Jackie Chan famous for what he does, and they turn that into a cartoon, which doesn't work. And then you have Rush Hour, the TV shows, which has neither of the lead actors. This is another Lethal Weapon issue.
Did they make
It's
it really
why have
serious?
you got two people trying to perform a role that was clearly well played by Chris Rock and Jackie Chan,
Tucker.
and they are not
Tucker.
funny. They don't. Oh, it just listeners, go to Google when you're hearing this and just look at Google search Rush Hour TV series.
Literally what
And
I'm
then
doing
look
right
at
now.
Look at the images on the right hand side, and you just
Fuck
look at that
me.
and you just think that is not funny.
Okay, hang on.
It's. Oh, I'm sorry. Just.
Starring Justin Hyers, who I haven't heard of, and John Fu.
It's just. Look. It just.
Oh dear.
Just no. Just no. And that's it. That's all I have to say.
I bet they don't have that chemistry at all either that
Exactly,
Tucker and Jackie Chan had.
exactly.
Like
I
that's
genuinely-
what's good about those films. I mean, yeah, there is a lot of problematic things with those films now, but like the general chemistry that them two had is brilliant.
Exactly. They were great when they came out. Very, very funny. You had the fish out of water in both movies because they flipped
Yeah,
it.
they flipped it, didn't they?
And the third one, I think, was
They went to Paris,
here
didn't
or
they, on
there.
the third one? So they were both
Yeah,
out
I
of
don't
one
just
remember much about
mad.
that one.
together. I didn't like the Rush Hour films. I thought they both could have done better. Like Chris Tucker for me is Ruby Rod in my head,
Absolutely.
and Jackie Chan is Who Am I? Do you know what I mean? It's just,
Yeah. The
Who am I?
The first Rush Hour
Fucking
film
hell.
is great. It's a 7 out of 10 romp. It's
Yeah,
not
exactly.
amazing, but it's really impressive. I'm just looking on the Wikipedia page here for the Rush Hour TV series, and I just love this description of John Fu's character. So he plays Detective Jonathan Lee, a strict detective from Hong Kong who is partnered with a brash detective from the LAPD, Detective Carter. He's based on the character Jackie Chan portrayed in the Rush Hour film series. Unlike the films, Lee does not carry a firearm on the job due to being haunted by having to kill someone in Hong Kong sometime before the series. Wow. What a description
that's
is.
nuanced.
It's just, it was just a comedy romp. It was a buddy
What's your
cop
beef with
thing
the
that-
Jackie Chan Adventures cartoon and the subsequent video games that it also inspired?
because it just doesn't work.
I like that
Because
cartoon,
for-
mate. With the
I'm
Stones
sorry,
and Uncle.
It's just awful.
I liked it.
It was like the Rambo
I've seen
cartoon.
it.
Do you remember the
Yeah,
Rambo
I like
cartoon?
Rambo as well.
It's just based on something that shouldn't be a cartoon. It just doesn't make sense. You got the violence of martial art movies with Jackie Chan, which you have to be a certain age to watch in the first place to a point.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you turn that into a
There ain't
cartoon.
no
There's just
drunken
logic.
master in Jackie Chan Adventures, is there?
Well, in all fairness, to the latter end of his career, Jackie Chan did go family friendly, didn't he?
Yeah,
Because he can't do it anymore.
yeah. You can't fall off scaffolding anymore.
The 90s were a terrible time for cartoon adaptations of things that kids shouldn't watch. Like there was a cartoon of the Mask, which I know it's not a grown-ups film, The Mask, but it's not really a kids film either.
It's certainly not a kids' film, mate.
And there was also a cartoon of Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Was there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
They should
wow.
do Adaptations.
I mean,
of
the
anything.
Ghostbusters cartoon was pretty good.
Well, no, the Ghostbusters cartoon
Ghostbusters
was
good.
exemplary. That was brilliant.
The real Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, I'm sorry, it just to me, there's just no logic in having that as a cartoon. And yeah, I found it really, because I'm a fan of Jackie
You should
Chan,
play the
don't get me
Game Boy
wrong, I'm a
game, it's
massive
good.
fan. But really disappointed in both of those. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. We'll move on then to Stig. This guy.
Okay.
This guy's got so much hatred in him.
If something's shit, it deserves it. My pick is the Alien versus Predator film,
Franchise.
the
Yeah.
first one, and Aliens
I would've
versus
picked this if you
Predator
hadn't.
Requiem.
Oh, when they give a name something Requiem, I'm like, I'm out. I'm out. You couldn't think of a subtitle. I'm out. Done.
So we start with the first one, Alien versus Predator. They made it a PG-13.
Yeah.
They took two R-rated sci-fi horrors, actions,
giant
films,
franchises.
giant with huge, sci-fi bodies. Put them into a film and made it PG-13, full of cheap, crappy jump scares and just off-screen deaths and a plot that made zero fucking sense. So
I love the plot. We've talked about this before. That the Predators invented pyramids.
Yeah,
it's so good.
It just this film, the first one, it stars the unholy trinity of shit movie cliches: scientists, mercenaries, and a rich guy.
Antarctica.
Yeah. The scientists are also really stupid. These top scientists, but stupid, who just spout exposition the whole time, full of untrue facts. Like, I actually did a little bit of research on this. They talk about the Aztecs and Mayan calendars and stuff in them.
Yeah.
None of that fits. None of that makes sense in what they say. It doesn't actually work. And then the pyramid being in Antarctica. Why is there a pyramid in Antarctica? No one lives there.
No.
And they actually mention this in the film about, people must have lived here at some point. No. Apparently, the only time Antarctica was habitable was about 25 million years before humans were around.
Yeah.
So why is that pyramid there? Why is it under the ice? What purpose is that pyramid serving? And then they have all these other pyramids everywhere where they just, if there's a sequence where it tells about how if the aliens overwhelmed the predators,
blowing up planet
would blow the pyramid and the evidence up
because they don't like losing.
Yeah, basically. So no, just so the aliens couldn't.
Which is set up in the first Predator film. I understand that. But
why is it that then the Aztec and Mayan pyramids or Egyptian pyramids that are still here don't mention any of this?
Yeah, and you've got to remember still here, but the Aztec pyramids are actually younger than Cambridge University. That's a mind blower. That one. It's not that long ago a civilization. Do you know what I mean? It's absolute crazy. You're thinking, is he wrong? I'm not wrong. Google it.
So they'd be over in a different continent and country where we hadn't discovered yet.
Yeah. The other thing, and I think this is probably more to the crux of the matter when it comes to Alien versus Predator, especially the first one. Why does it take place on Earth? Why would the Predators have the aliens?
Yeah, that was
Earth?
Another point I had.
Yeah,
doesn't make sense.
And it's like,
is it still Weyland-Yutani as well?
Well, no, it wouldn't be because it's set in more contemporary times. It's not set in future sci-fi.
Yeah.
So like the Alien films take place 300 or 400 years in the future, where space travel is more of a thing. Where people are traveling transgalactically and stuff. Yeah. So it's just but okay, so you've got aliens on Earth, and people survive these films. Not everybody dies in them. Someone would have said something. you tell me you come out of that ordeal. You managed to survive this kind of this hunt, this interstitial hunt between predators and xenomorphs. You're not going to tell me the first thing that you're not going to do is going to run to someone and go, "You would not believe the shit I've seen."
But don't go on that tour to Cairo in Egypt. Those pyramids, fuck that.
The pyramid actually has. The pyramid actually has all the story and the history because the exposition is there. The guy reads and he goes, "Oh, this happened. Every 100 years this happens." So every 100 years this happens. So like Gadget said, every 100 years people just forget.
Where's the crater?
But the thing is, they don't always destroy the pyramid. They only do that if the aliens are winning.
If the hunt is bad.
But yeah, like I just said, why do they need Earth? Why not just come and take people? And these people are sacrificing themselves. If the predators don't give a shit, just come and abduct people and just
which they do on one of the films.
Yeah.
But for me to play devil's advocate, I kind of get why they're coming to Earth, because the xenomorphs aren't the xenomorphs without a human host. They look different.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. They could take humans from Earth.
Yeah, like they're doing. Is it Predators?
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, exactly.
Take them to another planet, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, we've come full circle on this podcast.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Time is a flat circle.
About that, because I need to get onto the second one as well.
Yeah, go.
Why is Lance Henriksen in this as human Weyland?
I forgot that he was in it.
Bishop.
So he was Bishop.
Yeah.
Right? So if androids were meant to be a likeness and physical representation of Wayland, why does Ian Holm exist? Why does Michael Fassbender exist?
And I'm pretty sure at the end of Alien 3, that's the real Bishop.
Exactly, I was just about to say that. The human Bishop is in Alien 3. So why is he back on Earth in 2004?
Clearly, Alien and Prometheus, they did discover how to stay alive forever. That was the plot of Prometheus. So it's
he's dying in Alien versus Predator because the Predator doesn't attack him.
Right, yes.
Because the Predator scans him and sees that he's dying and just leaves him. But here's another thing about the Predators attacking. So the Predators land, kill all the drillers and the people on top, go down to the pyramids, but then don't kill the humans down there. Like the aliens get them, and then they team up with them, and it's like it's just terrible.
Oh shit! She teams up with a Predator to kill the Queen.
She does. She gives him his gun back, and the Predator's just
they have a bit of a romance, like they look at each other like, yeah, girl.
Yeah, because she kills the.
I like your dreads.
She kills one of the aliens, so the Predator's just like gives her a mark, and he's like, "Oh, you're battle ready now. You're one of us."
Oh god, it's so bad.
Yeah,
and Requiem's fucking shite.
Yeah, and there's a bit in this film and a bit in Requiem where they try to draw back on previous films. So when she fights the Queen alien at the end with the Predator, she's like, "You are one ugly motherfucker," but it's blanked out because it's PG, no swearing, so she can't say fucker. And then it ends with an alien bursting out of a Predator that they take.
Pralien.
The Predators land, take back the Predator that died, and he's been impregnated with by a face hugger. Yeah. So now it becomes a alien/predator hybrid. And this leads us on to Requiem.
Which is worse.
It's just, I mean, like Udall said, the fact that it's called Requiem, and actually this is called Aliens versus Predator.
Versus Predator.
Rather than just Alien versus Predator. So this film begins pretty much exactly where the last film takes off.
Immediately.
The alien Predator hybrid has killed everyone on ship, and the ship crash lands in this town.
Let me just say, we are spoiling this for you, so you don't have to watch it.
Yeah.
No one is going to watch this film unless they've watched it already because it's fucking terrible.
So bad.
But this time, because the fans complained about the PG-13, this one is R-rated.
But this one isn't R-rated. In my opinion.
Yeah, this is R-rated to the point where it's just like, gore, blood, swearing, yeah!
I don't
like it. And they just forget about everything else that makes a good R-rated film. There is no structure, there is no story, there are no characters, there is no
horrible
plot.
Hospital scene as well that shouldn't be in any film.
There is just... It's just full of characters and side stories you give zero fucks about. All the action is too dark and boring. You can't see what the fuck is going on.
Like both.
No, I don't. I just like the setup that it was in a town. Just the fact that it's got that Escape from Precinct 13 kind of setup where it was kind of, it's a small town, they're going to get absolutely fucked over, but they just don't deliver it.
It was Resident Evil 2, wasn't it? It was like that.
The setup was there. It just was awful. It was just so badly done.
Unlike the other one where they tried to use "you are one ugly motherfucker" line, this one goes for a "get to the chopper" tribute.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
And it is really bad. Does not have any of the finesse or tension or anything that the Arnie film does at all. And
I remember with Requiem, Thomas Jane was attached to that, believe it or not. And,
was he?
Yeah, and he backed out, so they got someone that looks identical to him but can't act. And then I believe Thomas Jane is in Predators, isn't he?
Yeah.
So they got him in the end.
Honestly, it's terrible. Like, they turned it into a shit B-movie slasher, which is more akin to Freddy versus Jason than either a Predator or an alien
Freddy
film.
versus Jason, at least it's a laugh, isn't it?
Well, Freddy versus Jason knows what it's doing.
Yeah,
this is trying to be serious, but comes across as just bad. And it ends with the government bombing the town to stop the aliens and the Predator
Raccoon City.
They just kill everyone.
Yep.
But it's okay because our heroes from the film escaped, but everyone else in the town says, "You are dead." And it's like, and actually, it sets it up for a third one as well,
which we never got.
No,
finally.
Fuck. But Alien versus Predator, just both films, absolute terrible spin-offs.
I'm just looking at it on Rotten Tomatoes. Do you know the tomato score on it?
30.
14.
12.
You got it right. 12.
12, yeah.
With an audience score of 30. But again, what I like to do with Rotten Tomatoes, as I've done this a couple of times when we've talked about shit films, is the "you might also like" section with this one. So if you like Aliens versus Predator Requiem, you might also like Doom,
Terrible.
That was mentioned last time,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
I Know Who Killed Me, or Blade Trinity.
What a fourth one. Blade 2 is an exceptional movie. Blade Trinity is fucking hot shit. It's garbage, man. It's fucking terrible. Don't watch the AVP spin-offs. Don't watch Predators. Don't watch The Predator. Just watch Predator, Aliens, Alien.
That's it.
That's it. You're done.
It was a talking predator in the last one. What have they done?
Oh, let's not.
You can get
It was talking.
you can get away with Predator 2. It's not as good as the first one, but it's not awful.
I like Predator too.
I've not seen Predator 2 in a long time, but it
doesn't hold up, mate. You
doesn't
watch
live
it again.
up to Predator.
No.
But yeah, let's move on to... We're on to Gadget now, I believe.
Yes. So I am going to talk about the worst possible spin-off for one of my favourite things ever, and this is Scrubs Med School.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Or depending on where you are in the world, it is often referred to as season 9 of Scrubs.
Why is that?
Because they realised that a spin-off
Wouldn't work.
would bomb, so they tried to tack it onto
Sort
Scrubs.
of. It was when Scrubs last season, its 8th season, was rescued by NBC. It was dropped by ABC after the writers' strike, and it was picked up for the last season by NBC. And they basically tacked on. They kind of wanted more than one season out of it. But Bill Lawrence, the showrunner and the writer of it, was like, "No, we've ended JD's story here." And the ending of Scrubs season 8, like the end of JD's story, always makes me cry. It's a beautiful ending. It's one of the best endings of any sitcom I've ever seen. But NBC contractually obliged them to do one more season, so it became Scrubs Med School, and this spins off to as the title would say, a med school where it's very tangentially linked. It's not at Sacred Heart Hospital anymore. It's not in any familiar locations. The only kind of main recurring characters that come into it are Dr. Cox and Turk. They're in the entire season. This entire single season that came of this. JD's in it for 6 of the 13 episodes. And Elliot appears and the janitor appears as little guest cameo spots. But it basically takes the exact same formula of Scrubs, whereas you have a kind of awkward, dorky lead character. This one's a woman called Lucy, played by Kerry Bishé. The story is delivered through narration, through her own internal monologue. It gets a little bit weird. It deals with a lot of kind of her personal anxieties and her issues as a med student, being quite overwhelmed with what she's being tasked with, which is kind of how the first couple of seasons of Scrubs did it with JD's internal monologue. And it just was shit. It wasn't funny. None of the characters were engaging. The only kind of reasonably good thing that came out of it was it was the first big thing that Dave Franco did.
Yeah.
He played Cole. In pretty much the kind of the Turk role. He was this kind of very hotshot surgeon wannabe kid. Absolute thick as mince, proper idiot, but very skilled surgeon. And yeah, it was just dull. None of the characters were engaging. None of them were interesting. None of them had any real redeeming features. There is one of the characters, and I'm trying to find the cast list, played by Eliza Coupe, called Dr. Denise Mahoney. Mahoney or Maroney? Mahoney. And she was a holdover from Scrubs season 8. She was one of the recurring young doctors in Scrubs season 8, and she becomes a teacher in Scrubs Med School. And the problem is her character's a proper arsehole. I think they've tried to position her as a kind of a pseudo Dr. Cox, where she's brash and she's unlikable, but with a kind of a heart of gold, wants the best for people. But she doesn't have the heart of gold bitch. She's just a dick. And the thing is, I like the actress. The actress she played a very funny character in Happy Endings, and she's played a lot of very funny characters in other sitcoms. But in this, she's just completely unlikable. She worked in Scrubs season 8 because you only saw her for maybe 2 minutes an episode. She would just kind of pop in at the end of a JD thought or something like that, and she worked as this kind of weird brash character that he would have to deal with as well as dealing with Dr. Cox. But nah, it was just really bad. And also, with a tangential link, the showrunner for this, Bill Lawrence, was the showrunner for the Rush Hour TV series. I just realised that when I looked it up on Wikipedia before. But he has redeemed himself because he is the showrunner for Ted Lasso. So he's made it right. He's done good again.
Bit of gold.
Got better. What I really didn't like about it as well was like they just tried to redo JD.
Yeah,
like, it was like, let's take JD but make him a female.
Yeah, I love you saying these
something
names.
New. Don't just make a copy of JD, but make it female. That doesn't work. That's not like new and exciting. No. That's just a really shit way of doing something. Do something new with her character. Make her something other than JD.
Is Scrubs genuinely good then?
Scrubs season 1 to 8 is absolutely brilliant. The odd Duff episode here and then, but it's like a 24.
Everything's got a Duff episode.
Yeah, 24 episode seasons. Like they're going to have the odd clanger, but
like you talked about it the other week. I think you brought Scrubs up about some heartbreaking scenes. The stories particularly surrounding what's his name? Guy from The Mummy.
Oh, Brendan Fraser. Yeah.
Brendan Fraser. Like stuff around his character.
Dwayne Johnson.
Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser. No, Brendan Fraser's character. Yeah, it is absolutely. Yeah, proper good stuff. That in the middle of this stupid comedy show. It feels like it has no right to be there, but it just works so well.
Yeah, and I will say as well, like Scrubs Med School, it misses all of the emotional beats of the main Scrubs season. Like it tries them. You can see a few points where where Lucy has to deal with her first patient death and stuff like that, or where some characters break up with each other, get into a relationship and then break up with each other. It just misses every beat. It's just not as competent at what it does. And it's really hard to take as well because Lucy is such a carbon copy of JD. Any scene in those first 6 episodes where the two of them are talking to each other is so disingenuous because you have JD, who by that point is like in his mid to late 30s. The character, you first meet the character in Scrubs when he's 24. He's just out of a med school,
an intern type thing.
Yeah, you meet him as an intern. He's just out of med school. He is awkward, as all 24-year-olds are going into like a serious job, you know. He's awkward. He's trying to be funny. He's trying to be likable, trying to get people to like him, not really believing in himself. Lucy's doing exactly the same, but she's like 3 years younger than that. She's 21 in this. And you've got JD acting the same as he was in early Scrubs with a character who is a copy of him in early Scrubs. And the two it is just really grating to watch because JD should be acting older. He should be acting like a teacher and she should be still acting like a student. And then you've got these two characters just doing the same thing at each other. And it's really fucking annoying to watch. So please, whatever you do, don't watch Scrubs Med School. Watch through Scrubs. Believe me, it's great. Get to the end of season 8. When you hear Peter Gabriel's The Book of Love, that's when you know that's all you need. Oh, honestly, even if you just watch the end. Go on YouTube, Oodles, because I know you like to know the ending of things because you read the last page of a book first.
Oh, make him watch it all.
No, but watch it all. But seriously, just watch how they do his last scene. It's so good.
Well, no, there's a last scene, so I may as well watch it.
I forgot about him going to the last page of books.
Yeah.
Look, it's a choice. It's a choice.
Yeah, Scrubs Med School, just fucking don't.
I won't. Excellent. So, what I want to talk about, it's a bit like Biggie. It's kind of a twofer one. It relates to a friend of mine. I'm not going to name him because I don't want to.
Fair enough.
And it relates to the fact that we had a bit of a console war together growing up. I was Mr. PlayStation and he was Mr. Xbox. And this happened twice in his lifetime. When we were really younger, when I was PlayStation 1 and he was Nintendo 64, he said to me, he goes, you've got to come to my house. I've got this amazing game. You've got to come play it. You will love it. I went, all right, okay. Last time he said that, it was Super Mario 64, and he was right. It was good. This time I went in, it was a game called Hey You Pikachu. Wow. And I was a big fan of the Pokemon games on Game Boy. And this is not a game. It's basically shouting at Pikachu, jump! Pikachu, do this! It is absolute garbage. Surprisingly, it has a 57 Metascore rating. Some people saying at least it's getting kids to stand up and scream at the telly when it doesn't understand their accent.
I thought it meant 57 people had played it.
Maybe, but it's just absolutely bad. And I've got some quotes. Someone from EGM said, even if you dig Pikachu's act, the game is ultimately a spirit-crushing, mind-numbing exercise in tedium. That was probably the finest quote I could find for that. And the reason I brought that up is because years later, I was Mr. PlayStation and he was Mr. Xbox. And he said, Oodles, I've got another game. You need to come and play this game. It's incredible. I went, all right, okay. Maybe three times a charm, third time's a charm. This game was called Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball.
I think you need to rethink your friendship with this lad.
Yeah, I'm still really good friends with him now. Here's the Play magazine quote. I never thought watching could be so engulfing. These models are truly extraordinary. The breasts are wonderful, along with the shoulders, thighs, and faces. Of course, but do you have any idea how difficult it is to model armpits? They are perfection. 90 out of 100. He got a 90 out of 100 in Play magazine.
Game for perverts.
Suddenly feel very dirty listening to that review.
Yeah.
Like I need a shower.
It's got a Metascore of 73. Now, I remember playing this game, and apart from the fact that I've said, yeah, man, the graphics are really good, wow. Yeah, look at all these polygons. Let's just call them. And the actual game of volleyball is not good. No. It's not good in this. The controls.
I don't think they actually would care.
The controls are a bit shit. And he was like, no, but there's a camera mode where you can be a cameraman. I'm like, dude,
look at the boob physics.
this is shocking. And I really liked Dead or Alive as a fighting game. I thought it was really good. This was, oh my god.
I mean, Dead or Alive and Tekken and those games, they're quite risque already.
Yeah.
With the female characters and the costumes. This just takes it to another level. Like,
I mean, Dead or Alive 5 does have a team of about 30 people that do boob physics. Like, who build the tooling for the game to have the physics for like.
Now I get,
body fat jiggling.
I get. There's a lost in translation aspect.
Is there?
No, well, not really. But in Japan, there is more of a emphasis on that kind of
aversion.
Aversion, yeah. Thank you. Over here, they marketed it as an extreme beach volleyball game. Bear in mind, at the time, there was outlaw volleyball. There was other volleyball. It had a little bit of a renaissance for some reason.
It did.
And I think it was due to the fact that they could do the physics better, let's just say.
I think it might have been down to Australian Olympics.
Could have been. Yeah, absolutely. Could have been. But I was burnt twice by this friend of mine. And to be honest, I just think as a spin-off, it just fails in... It's just saying, look, we've got some really good-looking... Because there is a story to Dead or Alive Extreme Volleyball where one of the male characters has bought an island and he's invited the ladies to come down and compete. Do you know what I mean?
Like, and is it Enter the Dragon?
Yeah, it's like a bit like Enter the Dragon, yeah. But there's no fighting.
Volleyball.
Isn't that how the island of Dr. Moreau starts?
Kind of, yeah. And there has been sequels to it, and people still buy them. And people are saying, we need it on Switch, Fuck off. We don't. There's only one reason why you need this. And this is a world where, I'm sorry to say it, but Pornhub exists. It's free, and the comment section's incredible. Don't pretend that you like beach volleyball or a pageant contest or arranging sun cream on. Do you know? It's just blurs.
Listeners, as Oodles is describing this, his face is getting redder and redder.
Because it's just a. It's because
I'm trying
game.
to like.
It really is.
I'm trying to justify it, like.
Well, I know we've had this discussion
where. No, because in when I play games, I don't do the romance options because I like to keep it separate. We've talked about this before.
Yes,
I like to keep the romance separate from my.
You don't like to romance an alien?
No, I don't, and I really don't. And
that's a whole different topic.
Different topic, and I don't like to. If let's say I'm Geralt of Rivia, I'm busy fighting. I'm a consummate professional. Do you know what I mean? I ain't romancing. And this game is just it's wanking simulator. That's what it is. That's what it is. And
strong contender for a title.
You love a good simulator game, though. So.
I do love a good simulator game, and I bear in mind I was at home playing Metal Gear Solid 3 and like Zone of the Enders. These absolute epics, these great games. These, from the same country, doing it better. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And there'll be people listening now going, "No, Extreme Beach Volleyball's a really good game. It's a really good game." You're lying. You're lying. It's not. The graphics are brilliant. Even today, by today's standards, there's still really good graphics. Like there's some good water physics and other physics, but it's just a bad spin-off, man. And Hey You Pikachu, fucking hell! If anyone can even defend that, you're just fanboying. It's not good, and I love Pokemon. Do you know what I mean? It's just bad. So yeah, they're my pick. I've got nothing more to say, and I'd really want some feedback on Extreme Volleyball because I don't even think the sequels even were volleyball games. I think it just dropped that after a while. It just became Extreme.
Yeah, I think it. Yeah,
Island Party or something.
Yeah, I really. Yeah, I think that's all I've got anyway. So before we go on to our mailbag, we've got a little bit of a challenge now that we think of spin-offs that we could create that we would love to see out there, and we'll start with you, Stig.
Great. So my spin-off is actually a book. For those of you who've noticed or heard back in our original episode when we talked about our favourite books, my favourite series is The Three World Cycles by Ian Irvine.
Yeah.
Currently, this sits at 16 books. So now you're probably thinking, why does a series with 16 books need a spin-off? It's because these 16 books all kind of take place on one world. So the book is called The Three World Cycle, but the majority of the story is on one world. We don't really see any... We know about the stories and kind of have a bit of history about the things that happen on the other worlds, but there's no stories actually set there. So you have the main world of Santhanar. But one of the main characters in the first 4 books, and then later in the series, is Rulki, who was the leader of the Charon, and he defeated all the enemies in the Void and figured out a way to invade one of these worlds called Arkan. And him and 99 other Charons, they invaded the world and took it for themselves. So 100 warriors were able to take control of a whole world. That's how strong these guys were. And I want a spin-off series about those stories. I want to know about what happened in the Void, how they were the enemy of the Murdrun, how they defeated all their enemies there, how they travelled to these other worlds, and then
there's a lot of story.
That's good.
And then leading this all the way up to when his betrayal from Shuddha, when they went from Arkan to Santhanar, and his eventual defeat and imprisonment. So right there, you have at least a trilogy worth of books and stories. Now, Ian Irvine is going back to do another set of novels set on Santhanar, but it's a prequel to his second set of books. But this is a spin-off. I really want to see Rulki and the Charon and all their adventures, basically.
Yeah, no, that's that. Thing is, it's not out of the realms of possibility either. It's something that could absolutely happen. But yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Also, quick mention, it came to me while we were talking through this. I think I'd love to see young Scully and Hitchcock from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh yes, I would love to see that.
Yeah.
I don't know who they are.
Yeah, but a young version, a TV show of the young Scully and Hitchcock would be amazing.
Yeah, I think that's
they do a few flashbacks to them being in their prime, and they're very funny.
Okay, excellent. So, Gadget, have you thought of anything?
Yeah. First of all, just picture the scene. Take Ellie, Tommy, Joel, Abby, stick them in go-karts and call it the Fast of Us.
Oh man!
Crash Team Racing, but done with the Last of Us characters.
Yeah,
and a few clickers and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. The one I kind of wanted was, it's a little bit in the same vein as what Stig was talking about with his kind of favorite book series, but thinking of other stuff you could do in the universe for Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, because Douglas Adams set up so much stuff that could be riffed upon. There's like mentions of just like, there's a galactic council and galactic council in the same vein of like your local parish council. You've got stuff like the improbability drive causing insanity. You've got whatever random trail of destruction Zaphod Beeblebrox has left in his career. There's just so much you could do in that universe. So I'd like, whether it would be in books or in TV series or video games or anything like that, like just any spin-offs you could take in that universe. centered around obviously the guide itself and the insanity that can be caused with it. I would just really like more stories done from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy universe. I think you have a lot of scope, but there's a lot of authors out there today and a lot of TV writers and showrunners who could do it justice, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, bear in mind, like the film version of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is pretty good.
I like it. I think it's good.
Yeah. Given that they condensed a very, very funny, but also slightly outdated humor book into a film that is entertaining enough to watch in 2005, it's like, it wasn't the best film in the world, but it was
The
great.
audio drama's incredible.
The audio drama's great. The that came before the book.
Yeah, it did.
The TV series in the 80s, that was brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is so much scope for things to be done in that world.
It's a vast universe that you could just pick at.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And just take all these silly concepts, refer back to the restaurant at the end of the universe.
Yeah.
Have a story following a disaster zone on a tour of destroying planets. The loudest band in the universe. There's got to be a story in there somewhere.
Yeah. I'm into that, mate. That's a really good shout. Yeah. Biggie?
Yeah, it's a quick one. I just thought of it tonight, actually.
Right.
I happened to look up at my DVD collection, and it made me think of Band of Brothers. And I'd like to see one set in Vietnam or Gulf, because I think there's a lot of scope for some true stories where they, reenact what they did with the Band of Brothers. I think that would make a really good TV
shout,
series
man.
for both.
Didn't they already do one of those, like in the Pacific Theatre?
The Pacific, they did.
Yeah.
That was still set in
I think
World War
Vietnam
II.
War and the Gulf War, I think, are two obviously very important points of history regarding war, and I think it'd be really interesting to see something.
We had
like
a good war show in a long time.
Especially while some of these soldiers are still alive.
Yeah, some absolute insights.
That's when you need to get it. Like that's what did well with Band of Brothers as well, is that you got those stories,
those interviews with them at the end.
Actual soldiers.
Amazing, really good.
Excellent, yeah. My idea is an idea that I've had for about 10 years, and I've even wrote a script for it. It's I will release it if people demand it enough. It's called Hans Baby. It's a Die Hard spin-off. Basically, mate, this is vast. It's about Ellis. Remember Ellis from Die Hard? So we know how he ultimately, out the end of my film, would.
So I know where you're going.
Yeah, and it's basically about Ellis's life and how he led up to his interview with Mr. Takagi and his ultimate end to the hands of Hans Gruber. That's why it's called Hans Baby.
Hans Baby.
Yeah.
I genuinely thought you meant Hans Baby originally. Like when you said Hans Baby, it was going to be like Hans Gruber's baby.
Oh no. Hans.
No. Maybe like a Muppet
Baby.
Babies reinvention.
Now I want to see that.
Yeah. So
Die Hard
basically,
with babies.
But the script I've wrote, and obviously my grammar's terrible, so it probably needs to be proofread with a fine tooth comb before I even release it. But yeah, it's more dark. It's more. Do you know when? When the Joker film came out recently?
Yeah.
I watched that and went, they've ripped my fucking script off. My Hans Baby script. Because it was about like Ellis's downfall. Big cokehead by the end, wasn't it? You know what I mean? And just how hard it is to work at the Nakatomi Plaza. And it has a bit of a Wolf of Wall Street vibe to it as well.
Fucking hell, man.
It's not a comedy, it's quite dark. It's quite a dark script. It's and at the very end, obviously, it's the infamous night, the Christmas party, and his ultimate demise. And there's
You can't show his death. You have to just show him going to the party.
Yeah,
That's the
exactly. There's going to be an epilogue of his funeral, and like only like 3 people turn up and stuff. But from the beginning of the film, he's well liked and stuff, and it's just like what that kind of work environment does to a human. And I think Hans Baby is going to be massive when I sell the script to Scorsese.
To be fair, it's probably better than Die Hard 5. John McClane's in it at the very end for a split second. He barely even saw him. But yeah, he did like Holly McClane though. He did flirt with her in my script. Gennaro, sorry, not McClane. But yeah,
I want to see more Hans Baby or the Muppet Baby version of Die Hard.
Oh, this is
yippee-ki-yay muddy funster.
It's quite a serious film.
Just
It's quite a serious film, my spin-off, and people listening now are going, "That's fucking genius."
It is. I like it.
I've had it brewing for about 10 years. It's one of those that I've kept on my Dropbox forever, and I've always it's just there, and I'm like, when do I unleash this into the world?
It's either going to be absolutely brilliant or it's going to be threat level midnight.
It's probably skirting like somewhere in between. It needs an editor. Absolutely needs an editor. It's like a fucking 60-page script. It's huge, but yeah, it's a 3-hour-long film. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, Hans Baby in cinemas soon. But yeah, let's move on to that bulging mail sack of yours, there, Gadget.
Well, it is bulging this week. Starting off with Ben at X-Ben Blaster X. Best spin-off show of all time, Better Call Saul. Saul Goodman is a sleazy chap. Saul Goodman, a sleazy cheap suit lawyer in Breaking Bad, becomes a whole different beast in his own show. A man who always tries to do the right thing in the wrongest way possible. Love it. For me, it surpasses Breaking Bad.
See, I forgot to mention as well when I talked about it that it does comedy and tension like so well in the show.
Yeah, it's good when that's mixed well.
Yeah, like there's some episodes where Saul is just in his element and it's funny as fuck. And then you get episodes like the second to last episode of the last series. My God, the ending of that episode is just, it's tense, so tense because you have no idea what's going to happen. Someone does something and you're just like, how is this person going to react to what that person's just said? And it's just like, yeah, it's brilliant.
Derek Pennington at One Line Derek. He says, my answer for both favourite and least favourite is all dependent on which seasons we're talking about. The Simpsons. Yes, everyone does forget The Simpsons is actually a spin-off of the Tracy Ullman show.
It is, yeah. The short little skits, wasn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, he is right. Sometimes the first 8, 9 seasons, we've talked about it before, best spin-off ever. The following 20 seasons, they're the worst. Robotic Monkeys come in saying, Better Call Saul has been consistently wonderful. He also points out, lovely podcast this week, chaps, but he misheard the episode. He started listening to Dungeons and Daddies, which he's been enjoying. But now he's queued up Dungeon Dads after realising the mistake. I did tell you it gets complicated.
You've done this to
a lot
us.
of Dungeons and a lot of Dads.
Episode.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was a really good chat. Tig on the Discord comes in saying, this sounds like Stig's Better Call Saul ep. It was.
My feedback. They all agree.
Yeah. My least favourite spin-off is Mario Tennis. The NES had a bunch of serviceable sports games, including tennis. Tennis was basic at best, but where it lacked in graphical finesse and shots, it made up for it with a compulsive tennis game based on perfect timing. Nintendo followed tennis up on the SNES, or the SNES. I don't know why I did it the American way there. With the mighty Super Tennis.
He loves that game, doesn't he?
Yeah, he fucking loves it. He just wanted to get that into feedback.
Yep. Super added in characters, more tournament styles, and a bunch more shots to express yourself on the court. But it also kept the intricate timing. You could play a boring tap-tap game of tennis, but if you practiced and practiced, perfecting the intricate timing, Super Tennis became a truly superb game where novices couldn't live with the experienced masters. Nintendo binned off all the tennis games when they Marioized everything. There's a new word.
They did.
Now Mario Tennis is a silly game with magic mushrooms and special moves that barely resembles its sublime origins on the original Nintendo machines.
I can imagine Tig sat there when he plays Super Tennis. He puts his head bandana on, he gets his Boris Becker, he gets his racket out, he just puts his racket beside of him, picks up the controllers like, wifey, I'm just going to have a session on Super Tennis, and she's like, oh no, here we go. And he's like, and he's grunting, he's going, while he's playing.
Can I have another Robinson's barley?
Yeah, I can imagine him proper getting into it, spinning his racket between loads.
Throws the towel in her face.
I think he's right though, isn't he? Because the other week you were asking Oodles, is there any decent tennis games?
Yeah.
Because all there seems to be is just a silly Mario
For me,
version of it, which might be fine, but it's not like.
I like Virtual Tennis. That was the last tennis game I adored.
Yeah, a proper tennis game if you want one.
Top
just isn't.
It's odd though because like the Mario spin-offs, there's been hit and miss. Like Mario Golf, I loved that. I loved it on Game Boy.
No interest at all.
Oh, I loved it. But yeah, obviously the best Mario spin-off, Mario Kart. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I should have mentioned
Absolutely smashed it out of the box with that. With all of them. I mean, I adore Double Dash. A lot of people don't, but I do. But
so John Cheatham's come in, the ever analytical and wonderfully read John Cheatham comes in saying, like to give a shout out to a largely unloved spin-off, but the weirdly prescient Resident Evil Outbreak games. Now,
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I mean, he's not wrong. They were very good games.
Yeah, they were.
Capcom keeps trying to smuggle online games into their mainline Resi games. They already had a great concept, co-op survival in these vignette scenarios around Raccoon City. There's some great levels, including a balmy trip to the zoo where there's a zombie elephant called Oscar chases you around.
That's File 2, yeah.
Yeah, and a creepy hospital in a forest inhabited by an axe-toting doctor.
Yeah, oh yeah. The problem is, I didn't have a LAN cable or whatever. I didn't have the adapter for the internet.
The network adapter, yeah. They really should bring these back in the RE engine, which, of course, I pointed out to him that, no, you don't get that. You either get Reverse or you get Umbrella Core.
Oh, no, Umbrella Core.
Because Capcom, for every good move they make, they do 5 shit ones.
It's because there's 17 teams at Capcom, that's why. There's so many of them. It's a massive building.
Yeah, like if they could, I mean, they've got this Reverse thing that's coming out with Resident Evil 8, which I think was them trying to play with that idea, because it's a little bit the Mercenaries, like a little bit kind of Umbrella Core, but it's just not Resident Evil Outbreak, because they were co-op adventures and they were really fucking tense.
It's the worst I've seen the RE engine look. It
Yeah,
looks really like washed out, and the characters run weird, like they're on ice.
what in Reverse?
Yeah, Reverse.
Reverse
looks coming out.
Looks bad, man.
He also goes on to say, spin-offs versus interconnected universes is an interesting question. Many properties are taking the form of the latter now. Even The Mandalorian is now kicking off an interconnected series of TV shows rather than just
canon,
spin-offs.
isn't it?
Yeah, and you suppose you get that with WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier and stuff like that. Like
maybe that's why Han's Baby hasn't kicked off, because it's technically canon. It's not actually a spin-off. It's just in the universe, isn't it?
Yeah, potentially.
Plus, no one's read it.
Nimrod Hicks has come in here with Dear Mostly Engaging.
Mostly engaged. He's at it again.
He's on crack, that boy.
Yeah. He says he loved the the Dungeon Dads chat. I was about to get it wrong there.
Oh my word!
Great. It was a great atmosphere with those guys. He's now about to start their first episode after he writes this.
Yes.
As for spin-offs, if Deep Space Nine and Frasier haven't been mentioned, something's gone horribly wrong.
Fuck Deep Space Nine. I've only
I
just
didn't
recently
know about
watched
Star Wars.
Star Trek.
Star Wars, fucking hell, Star Trek.
The nerds will get you, Stig.
Star Trek, because it's all kind of
canon,
like,
isn't it?
It's more of a I always class them as sequels rather than spin-offs, because they're kind of taking place. But Deep Space Nine is at the same time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's at the same time. Like maybe the Next Generation you would count as the proper spin-off, because it was so long between Star Trek and Next Generation. But these other ones are kind of their evolutions of the formula, but it's not really a spin-off.
Yeah.
Don't
watch Enterprise.
No, never.
Deep Space Nine, no.
Oh, Deep Space Nine's so good.
It is.
Hicks is saying his mention is for Young Sheldon, which is much funnier, more tender, and a more engaging show than what The Big Bang Theory became.
What is that?
It's basically Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory as a child.
I've watched one episode of Big Bang Theory. I wanted to gouge my eyes out and my ears, pull them off.
No, I don't really like Young Sheldon, but I like it a lot more than I like Big Bang Theory. And I've said on the podcast why I hate The Big Bang Theory.
Because it's crap.
And a lot more reasons than that. But he says it's definitely worth a look. Otherwise, it could be argued that Led Zeppelin were a spin-off band from the Yardbirds, and they're pretty damn good.
Yeah, they're all right, aren't they? They did well.
Yeah, they're all right.
Yes. And
tunes.
Yeah, and he's mentioned that he's looking forward to our D&D spin-off.
Oh,
that will be the greatest spin-off of all time. Last up, Kurt Lewin, best boy. He says, for me, the standout spin-off is Better Call Saul, but from reading the Discord, I knew that's going to be Stig's pick, and I'm sure he'll say why it's good. So my other TV pick would be Ashes to Ashes, which was a spin-off from Life on Mars.
Yeah, it's a good shout, mate.
Pretty much more of the same, following the adventures of Gene Hunt and the gang, but I loved it all the same.
Yeah.
In games, my favourite spin-off has been Gears Tactics, a turn-based combat take on the Gears of War universe. I think the game is brilliant. It's my favourite game in the genre, my favourite game of last year. I paid no attention to the story, I just loved the moment-to-moment gameplay. I know XCOM 2 is known to be the king of this genre, but I've never been a fan of the base building stuff in it. Gears Tactics removes all that and just focuses on upgrading your characters, and it looks incredible too.
I think Kurt really needs to play Fire Emblem.
I don't think so.
Come on.
I mean, the thing is, Gears Tactics is a really good game, and it manages to nail something that I don't think XCOM 2 managed to nail, which was playing a game like that on a keypad, on a gamepad.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, XCOM 2 is on the consoles, but it's not a fun experience to play it.
Even I played XCOM 2 on PS4 with a mouse and keyboard, and I don't do that, but I knew I had to.
Oh, wow. I played it on the
shocking,
I didn't mind
mate.
it that much. I just hate the fact that it crashed all the time. That's what infuriated me.
Well, there was that as well, but I mean, Gears Tactics is a really, really good game. I dip in and out of it every so often.
I started it. I'm about 3 hours in, and it's solid, but There's just better tactical games, in my opinion.
Yes, but you're a sucker for Final Fantasy Tactics.
I like swords, don't I?
Yeah. I mean, the guns have got chainsaws on them.
Yeah, I do like that. I do like that it copies Overwatch. It copies XCOM's Overwatch mechanic. I love Overwatch mechanic.
Yeah,
I love that. Rather than wasting a turn, at least you've got something to do.
Something to do, yeah. But that's the end of the mailbox. Thank you for everyone who wrote in.
Thank you very much, everybody. Let's briefly go into the socials then.
Yeah, so you can find us at Twitter, at Modern Escapism. On there, you'll find a link to all our episodes, our socials, and our Discord. If you have any comments, you can either tweet us or email us at modernescapismpod@gmail.com. Gaming streams we have up and coming. I have no idea what Oodles is doing, so
Neither do I.
No, neither does he. So just keep an eye out for that. When he comes back, we'll sort that out. Mondays, Biggie's continuing with his playthrough of Dark Souls, and on Wednesday, Gadget and I are playing A Way Out,
which is a very silly game.
It was so fun watching that.
I enjoy it.
I told you at the beginning, though, it is literally daft Shawshank, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dialogue is dreadful.
Yeah, the dialogue's terrible.
You're even tarring the roof like on Shawshank and stuff like that.
yeah. I also just found the point. It's just like where you break into this old people's home.
Oh god, yeah.
And you're like, oh, I could just spend a bit of time lighting a fire or playing banjo
piano.
or messing around with hats and stuff. I'm just like, oh, we're on the run here.
There's one bit, and it's not really a spoiler. It's just a mechanic. It's quite a tense moment. And then you can both sit down and play Connect 4 for as long as you want.
Excellent.
It's well worth doing.
I'll be looking forward to that.
Yes. Exactly.
Next week's episode, it's entitled When the Hype Failed to Deliver.
Yes.
So we're going to be talking about when the world, critics, your friends, people you know, hype something up so much, but when you eventually came to watch it, read it, play it, hear it, it was just a damp squib.
And I will be talking about Yakuza.
Did not understand where the hype came from. So yeah, let us know when the hype failed to deliver for you.
It's going to be a banger.
And lastly, leave us 5 stars on all your podcast review places. It helps us get noticed. It helps boost the pod. You can say we're shit if you want, but give us 5 stars.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Just give us the 5 stars, and it helps boost us all. And word of mouth as well.
The main thing with the 5 stars is even if you want to slag us off, we won't read anything that's not 5 stars. So if you want to slag us off and us notice it, give us 5 stars and we'll read it then.
Yeah,
that's simple.
I think that's fair. You get to slag us off and we get a 5 star. It's a win-win. And yeah, as I say, a word of mouth. Tell a friend, tell someone, retweet us, like us. I really appreciate everyone who retweets our tweets and likes them as well to try and help push the pod. So
yeah.
Thank you
I've
very
got a homework task for the listeners as well. Do you know when you go shopping this week or next week, the cashier, tell them about the podcast and explain to me how that interaction went.
Or hijack the tannoy.
No, don't hijack the tannoy. I don't want to be part of some kind of
hijack the tannoy.
No, don't
please.
do that.
Yeah.
Just say to the cashier. Just say, "There's a podcast I'm listening to. It's called Modern Escapism," and they'll go, "Security, get him out." Don't know what a podcast is, but yeah, just tell one person. Everyone listens to it. One person. We can double the numbers then to 2 million.
Tannoy.
Then don't go on the tannoy.
Tannoy, I'll get the fuck out.
But yeah, that's been us this week. It's been a good one again, and we'll just leave you with the fact that we're doing a spin-off. Quickly explain to people that might have not heard last episode, Gadget, what the spin-off is.
So after the success of doing Under Grasswell Manor, our 2-part D&D special, we really enjoyed doing it. Everyone enjoyed listening to it, by all accounts. So we are starting up a second podcast. It's called Do Dragons Dream of Scorched Sheep?
Yes. And it's going to be good.
It's going to be excellent. It's going to be a proper actual play podcast, so it's not going to be heavily edited. You're going to hear the dice rolls. You're going to hear the times when Oodles loses the dice under the desk.
Yep.
Which did happen. I did edit that out in the last one, but I'll be leaving those in. We have an extra voice coming in, who's our wonderful resident artist, Candy Machine. She's going to be joining us for this endeavor. We'll be bringing her onto the podcast to introduce you to her the week before it goes live. We're aiming to have the first episode out on the 4th of June.
Yes.
Ahead of that coming out, we'll be launching our Patreon, which is going to be fun, and there's going to be some wonderful bonus stuff coming out of that. It's just going to be a lot of pod-based content for your ears.
It's going to be a cracking summer.
It is. But the one pledge that we will make to you is that this podcast, Modern Escapism, isn't going anywhere and will always be ad-free.
Yep.
You will never have to pay a penny to get anything from us, at least on this feed. You have to pay for the rest of the feeds.
Yes.
No. But yeah, we are very much looking forward to bringing something new to it. I'm starting to write the story now. We've all got our characters sorted. And if you haven't heard Grasswell Manor yet, go back and listen to it. It's two parts, and that will be the kind of the prologue for Do Dragons Dream of Scorched Sheep.
It's a triumph of D&D virginity being lost. It's an absolute triumph.
Yes.
Well, look at where it's led us.
Yeah,
just doing a special. So we've all enjoyed doing it. We've agreed to carry it on.
Yeah. And the general run of it is going to be they're going to be about an hour and a half long episodes. You're going to get them once every 2 weeks, so you have plenty of time to digest in between, and give me tips on how to torture these 3 idiots and the idiot that's joining us.
She's an idiot to say yes.
Yes. Just DM me or hit me up on the Discord and just let me know the ways you want me to torture them.
And he will as well. That's the problem. He will.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, that's been us this episode, and we will see you next time for Don't Believe the Hype. Good night. Bye.
Tanois.
I agree with you, but you went a little bit too far.